my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Yes, it is your feel-good breakfast show. A very good morning to you. Dumelang Sanborane. Welcome to it, the start of a brand new day. It's Wednesday, the 16th of October, as we get your engines revved up and ready to start the brand new day. Thank you very much for joining us on your feel-good breakfast show. It's so good to be in your company, and a show which we hope will be equal parts inspiring and entertaining as well. Listen, we've got one of the great legends here with us today, none other than Mr. David Kramer, who's brought us so much in the world of the art, has been an inspiration to many of the current greats, and will certainly go down in history as an icon indeed. But on the other hand, we're also engaging with you on social media as we do every single day. So the question we're asking you on Facebook, Expresso Morning Show SABC3, is the following. So would you be comfortable knowing that your boss is watching you 24/7 with camera surveillance? Do you have this kind of security set up in your office? And maybe it is just purely for security, or maybe your boss is just super nosy. Which one would it be? So would you be comfortable? And if you are in that kind of setup, how do you deal with it? How do you put on extra special behavior just because you know all the cameras are watching? Come on, be honest. Let's share a little bit with you today. Well, let's get on with it and check in with the rest of the team. Graham, I don't know, it feels like a Monday to me. Same for you?
We're going to beat back those Monday blues, buddy. Don't worry, it is in fact a Wednesday, and we're going to make it as positive and beautiful as we possibly can. I suppose with regards to the whole kind of camera surveillance thing, in a weird way, we kind of do live our lives with cameras on us all the time. So I kind of get what that feeling is like. Yeah, we just kind of operate on the studio floor like someone is always watching. But we'd love to hear from you guys how you feel about having camera surveillance on you. So welcome once again from my side. My name is Graham Richards. It is, believe it or not, International Food Day. So once again, I've got to thank everyone who's come out to support our hashtag 1 million plus 1 meal campaign. We're almost cresting the 100,000 mark, which was the entire amount that we did last year. So thank you so much, you beautiful Expresso viewers. We're going to be moving to Brackenfell Centre this Saturday to continue packing another 20,000 in the bag. But thank you so much. Take a moment today to really think about what it means to be hungry. We're going to have some great focus on that today, looking at what global organizations, what the UN, what you can do to help fight food insecurity. And there is a lot of it going on right here in South Africa. I think around 14 million people are going hungry every day, which is unforgivable. There is something we can do about it. But don't worry, in between all of the awesome content, we're going to bring you all of our daily updates. And we're going to start right now with a weather update, so you can start kind of thinking about what you need to piece together in terms of your wardrobe. Let's kick it off in Jersey. Partly sunny conditions, mainly sunny in fact, with little to no wind for the entire day. Humidity is going to decrease as the day progresses, and clear to some partly cloudy conditions expected towards the evening, but pleasant day all round in Durbs. Intervals of sunshine and a few clouds with delightful temperatures. That's awesome. As the evening approaches, sky's going to clear up, humidity is going to increase, warm sunset can be expected, so soak it up. And plenty of sunshine expected in Port Elizabeth. Pleasantly warm temperatures, clear skies for the duration of the day, with a northeasterly breeze just to take the edge off. That can be expected, dying down as the day progresses with that high humidity. Then down in the mother city, sunny conditions, nice warm temperatures, and a light southeasterly breeze for the entire day. Clear skies expected till the evening with a warm sunset as well. Temperatures can be expected around the 15 to 24 degree mark. It sounds like a beautiful day ahead. So hopefully that's given you a little bit of a prep on how you can get dressed today. And of course, we're going to be focusing on how T is going to be getting dressed. Uncle Tubbsy today, he's going to be going for a relaxed vibe. He's going to be wearing a navy cotton shirt over a cotton rich V-neck t-shirt with faded stripes. He's been loving that vibe, that layering, and of course the quality of the cotton is undeniable. Look perfect for a casual working environment, maybe night out with the boys. Let's just take a moment to imagine a night out with the boys. Wouldn't that be cool? Then you can wear it like this, or you can tone it down by wearing two shirts separately. It gives you so many options. As I said, the pure cotton short sleeve shirts keep you feeling cool, fresh on any sunny day. It really is a beautiful fabric. And then of course I've got some great news to report on here. Believe it or not, before I even found out via work, my mom had sent me this update. So we're both on the Woolies app, and she was like, you got to get on this. For all the rugby supporters out there, you and a partner stand a chance of watching two of the world's top teams battle it out to become the Rugby World Cup winner. This is insane. But of course, you got to shop at Woolies to get you there. So to thank their loyal shoppers for choosing Woolworths time and time again, Woolies have put together the ultimate 5-day trip to Yokohama, Japan for 5 lucky rewards members and your partners to experience the thrill of your lives at the biggest rugby final of the year. You got to simply swipe any one of your Woolies cards, be it your rewards, your Woolworths, the store card, or Woolies credit card in store, or alternatively your linked rewards card online or on the app. And you've got to swipe between the 12th and the 20th of October this year, obviously, to earn an entry. The prize includes flights, accommodation, and tickets to the final, plus 25,000 Rand spending money, which could double to 50,000 if you pay with your Woolies store or credit card. That is insane. All of our crew are like, oh. T's and C's do apply, obviously, and you can find them on woolworths.co.za. Don't waste any time. Get on the app right now and start shopping.
Oh, what a prize. And it's the 16th today, which means you have 4 days to enter that competition. Graham, I'm a Woolworths store card holder. Can I enter? Can I? No? No. Oh, okay, well, good luck to you. It's a fantastic prize indeed. But of course, at the start of a brand new day, we love to inspire you with some words of wisdom. And here are today's words of wisdom. We know that we live in a world that is so busy. There's just always something to do. So listen to these words. Be aware of the present. In a world full of doing, it is important to take a moment to just breathe, to just be. Listen to the birds a little bit out there. Do you hear that? Appreciate that moment for all of like 10 seconds. And after that, you can move on to the very busy schedule that you have going on today. But hopefully we are your cup of coffee to start the morning with. In fact, let's get you up to date, get those engines revving. Graham, what's happening in the news headlines this morning?
Thank you so much, Kat. Let's take a breath now as we take in our global and South African headlines, starting here in the country, where a dialogue in Pretoria yesterday heard that South Africans are not xenophobic, but the high unemployment rate in the country and competition for resources create opportunities for some people to use xenophobia as an excuse to commit crime. Then the National Credit Regulator says there has been an increase in credit extensions among South Africans. The total value of new credit granted has exceeded 134 billion Rand. Further afield, the head of the African Union Observer Mission and former Nigerian President, Goodluck Jonathan, last night said Mozambicans showed good discipline during voting in their general elections yesterday. Preliminary results are expected to be announced as soon as tomorrow. Then further afield, Turkey has ignored US sanctions and pressed on with its offensive in northern Syria yesterday. Russia has meanwhile said it will not allow clashes between Turkish and Syrian forces. And finally, squirreling away supplies for winter took on a whole new meaning for a couple in Pennsylvania in the US after they discovered a hood full of walnuts and grass in their car. Holly Persich was driving when she noticed the car seemed strange. She called her husband Chris and said she smelled something that was burning and that the car was making a weird sound. When they opened the hood, they found the engine full of walnuts neatly packed in grass, presumably stored there by squirrels over the weekend when the vehicle had been parked in the open. So Chris spent almost an hour cleaning out the some 200 walnuts and grass from under the hood. Said Chris, there's definitely an angry squirrel wife right now wondering where all the nuts have gone. So before that drives you nuts, let's delve into our sporting headlines. Well, yet another South African connection to the knockout rounds of the Rugby World Cup. South African referee Jaco Peyper has been said now to be taking charge of his 50th test on Sunday. That was after he was appointed to officiate the Rugby World Cup quarter-final match between France and Wales, while England's Wayne Barnes will be in charge of the match between South Africa and Japan. On the football front, PSL table toppers Kaizer Chiefs are going to be without the services of veteran goalkeeper Tumeleng Kune, who will be be out with a groin injury for 2 upcoming fixtures. And staying with the beautiful game, Cristiano Ronaldo has done it again, reached a career milestone this week by scoring his 700th career goal in Portugal's Euro 2020 qualifier that was up against the Ukraine at the Olympic National Sports Complex in Kiev. We'll expand on all of those stories as we progress.
A 0-fee account with 0 surprises. That's different.
Money.
Time for your first Wednesday weather watch. And just before we begin, we take a look at those sunrise pictures you've sent to us. Thank you so much to Ndogozo Makatini, who sent us a sunrise picture all the way from Johannesburg, where mainly sunny conditions can be expected with little to no wind and low humidity, and those temperatures reaching a maximum of 30 degrees Celsius. Thank you very much, Ndogozo. Also, Louis Fufur sent us his sunrise picture all the way from Plettenberg Bay. Thank you so much, Louis. And there you can expect plenty of sunshine throughout the day with pleasant temperatures and clear skies, and those temperatures reaching a maximum of 22 degrees Celsius. Please do keep those pictures coming. We love sharing them with the nation at the start of a brand new day. Now let's take a look at those temperatures. Polokwane between 12 and 28 degrees. Some high humidity for Mbombela today, a low of 13 and a high of 28. Pretoria between 15 and 32. Johannesburg 14 to 30. Northeasterly winds can be expected to be blowing through Mahikeng at about 18 kilometers per hour. Temperatures ranging between 18 and 33. Klerksdorp, a low of 17 and a high of 34. There'll be plenty of sunshine in the Northern Cape in Kimberley, a low of 19 and a high of 35. Bloemfontein 14 to 33. Richards Bay 18 to 28. Pietermaritzburg, a low of 15 and a high of 31. High humidity will be the order of the day in Durban today, a low of 19 and a high of 26, while in Mthatha we'll see temperatures ranging between 12 and 33. Northeasterly winds of 20 kilometers per hour through East London today, a low of 17 and a high of 26, while the lowest temperatures in the country today in Cradock, a low of 11, reaching a high of 37. Wow, call that low. Port Elizabeth between 15 and 26. Clear skies for George, 14 to 25. Sutherland 14 to 32. Cape Town 15 to 23. In Worcester today it will be sunny with a low of 18 and a high of 36. Highest temperatures in the country today in Springbok, a low of 24 and a high of 38. And just behind that, Uppington rounding it off with a low of 22 rather, and reaching a maximum of 38 degrees Celsius. Get the sunscreen out today, but no matter what the weather is like in your part of the country, here's to hoping you have a wonderful Wednesday.
A wonderful Wednesday indeed. You know, forget the sunscreen. Just don't go outdoors, man. When your low is 24 degrees, you know you're in for a scorcher. Of course, they got to get into the outdoors, the great outdoors in Swaziland. The presenter search on 3 finalists. It's now in the home straight as we search for the 2 new additions to the Expresso family. They hit the road in Swaziland to get a taste of what it's like to do a travelogue. And Nathaniel Davids is in studio this morning. We're going to chat to him in just a moment. Also give you an update on his comedy kind of opportunities that seem to be broadening as well. But he is one of the finalists that is being put through their paces at the moment as we've reached the business end of this intense reality show. So can't wait to connect with the man. We'll see you in just a moment.
A taste loved by those who have tried it. McAfee, great coffee, simple. See you after the break.
Oh, you can make my day.
good morning, you beautiful people. Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We're live, large and in charge on this Wednesday morning. Now, with just 3 weeks left of South Africa's biggest and most popular presented talent scout competition, we're getting so close to finding out who the top 2 new faces will be on your Feel Good Breakfast Show on Presenter Search on 3, the Expresso edition. So joining the show to chat about the contestants' first week in Swaziland as part of the Travelogue series, Nathaniel Davids in the house, looking like fella in Versace.
Right, guys, can we get a round of applause?
Yeah.
Come on.
That sounds like.
I'll do a slow clap, buddy.
Thank you.
Tonight's a very exciting episode, man.
Yeah, super dope. Swaziland, Eswatini, the kingdom. I've never been to a kingdom before, guys, so this was super excited. And my passport has never been stamped. Ever. This is the first time I ever left.
Your passport has never been stamped.
Yeah, so it's the first time I ever left the country, which was super dope.
You're a global citizen now, buddy.
Officially,
You're a global citizen.
officially.
Top 6, dude. Longest job interview in the history of job interviews. It must be quite surreal when you take into account where you started, just that first audition, kind of being there, part of thousands, whittled down to 6.
Yeah.
Pretty intense now. How are you feeling about it?
I feel like I'm still lost in the bubble. I don't think I've had like a moment to really like take note of what's going on. So I'm going moment to moment, and I think retrospect will probably kick in if I get the job
What do you
or
mean?
not.
Come on.
Well, I'm hoping.
on,
if it happens, it happens. Wonderful.
You do
but I'm
still
kind
have
of
a role
going.
to play in that, so you own it, bro. Own it.
Exactly. No, I'm definitely going to do that. But it's really dope. It's been a wonderful experience.
Yeah. As you said, the first time out of the country, first time getting your passport stamped, first time in a kingdom of Eswatini. Were there other learning experiences for you from a presenting point of view? Cross-cultural integration, learnings there?
Yeah, no, so naturally you a little bit nervous because you're thinking now we're going to get a challenge that's linked to the country, that's linked to the cultures, the tradition. But I can tell you off the cuff, the people of Eswatini are so inviting, so warm, so friendly, man.
Look at that.
One of my favorite sites there was Sibebe Rock. Sibebe Rock is one of the largest granite rocks.
Is that it? There we go.
There we go, Sibebe Rock.
Makes you wanna-
We formed
Sibebe.
elimination there.
What?
Yeah, no, so it was like a bittersweet moment because you have this wonderful scenery and the judge is looking amazing. Look at that. I've never seen Roger's good shoulder like that. It's so exposed.
Roger's good shoulder, did you get
Yeah,
that?
that is his good shoulder. You had to cover the other one, it's not.
No, it's a beautiful place, man. The scenery, it is gorgeous. Sibebe Rock is like the second largest granite rock in the world and the biggest in Africa as well.
Wow.
So yeah, I just had a moment where I'm sitting with my knees, taking it all in, you know, just really living in the moment. It's a gorgeous place.
It's one thing having to kind of be put through your paces doing your individual work, and so many of the challenges they've pushed you guys, which is, you know, ideally what this process is about, so that you get enough of a taste of what it's like to host. But we do so much of what we do as a group. It's a group dynamic. We live off our chemistry, if you will. You guys got put to the group test there. Did the nails come out? Did it get intense? Was it better, easier? How did you feel about that?
Great, I punched someone. That's why what would happen. No, I'm joking.
No, of course you didn't. Otherwise you wouldn't be here right now.
No, it was super dope. I think what at this stage everyone knows that they have something about them and that's why they're there, and it's all about linking up with the chemistry and making sure that each one has a role. So we play to each other's strength, and
That's good.
it was super dope. It was a great time with the guys. I'm not going to say who I was paired with, but it was a dope time.
Yeah. What's also dope about what you do is that as a night shift job, I guess, you're a comedian. And
Night shift?
Yeah, I think you split your day up because during the day you're a content producer.
No, I left my job for this thing. Hey guys, I quit.
Wow.
That's confidence.
I quit during the Instagram video phase. So I quit not knowing that I'm going to be selected.
But that says to me you wanted to quit your job. That just says that you were like, sweet, I'm in it.
So you're spending most of your time right now investing in your comedy as well, right?
Comedy and presenter search, yeah. Step.
So should you then get one of the 2 coveted spots, how will you be balancing that out? Because comedy is quite a strenuous career as well. You're doing tours, you're doing shows at clubs, you're writing, you're always trying to get new material.
He's thinking about it now for the first time. He's like,
tell me about Tell me about it.
No, I think one thing that people must understand about being a comedian is that it's not a button that you switch on. Being authentic is being a comedian, and you just add that extra special spice when you're on stage. So it's not like you suddenly switch on and then be funny, you know. The more authentic you are as a comedian, the better it is to transition between whatever job you're doing. So whether that's TV, that's radio, you're still going to be Nathaniel. Always. And I'm looking forward to like performing. I'm going to be in your city from the 24th to 27th. I'm doing Cape Town Comedy Club.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So we can check you out,
man. Yeah, please pull through. I'm going to be performing with Riyad Musa.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be amazing. I've never performed with him. And this Friday, I'm going to be at Parker's Comedy Club.
Another hot spot, man.
So 17th and 18th. Friday and Saturday. Parker's Comedy Club. Pull through, get your tickets on Copy Tickets. It's going to be super dope, man.
Nice one. We've got the details on the screen for you.
Yes,
Congratulations for making it thus far into the top 6. Can't wait to see today's episode tonight.
Thank you.
And good luck for the rest of the competition.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
3 more weeks. I can't believe we're saying that already. 3 more weeks left on this journey into finding out who will take the 2 coveted presenting spots right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. You can share in this very exciting, thrilling, dramatic process by tuning into Presenter Search on the Expresso edition every Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. with repeats going out Saturday at 1 p.m. right here on SABC3, where...
The stage is yours. Is that my camera? Hey, so
you should know that.
Hey, baby.
Tonight, Presenter Search on 3, the Expresso edition, hits the road at 7:30 on SABC3 as the top 6 contestants present travelogues from the beautiful kingdom of Eswatini. Teaming up for the first time, they must now work together to create TV magic and avoid elimination. Catch it all on Presenter Search on 3, the Expresso edition, Wednesday evenings at 7:30, repeat on Saturdays at 1. Only on 3, the stage is yours. Own it.
So while you're taking to the stage and enjoying Presenter Search on 3, remember that you still have an opportunity to enter to star in Tropica Island of Treasure, Curacao, especially if you're looking for fame and fortune. Now, you could be selected as one of the 6 consumer contestants going to Curacao in the Caribbean and, of course, being featured on this hit TV series. Plus, you then stand a chance of winning a smooth 1 million rand that you'll be sharing with your celebrity partner. Now, all you have to do is WhatsApp the keyword TIOT9 to 063-921-8395 for all of the entry details. And also remember to buy Tropica for details on how you can stand a chance of winning hundreds and thousands of prizes. And who knows, it could be you winning Tropica or smooth fame and fortune on Tropica Island of Treasure. So one more time, WhatsApp that keyword, which is TIOT9, to the number 063-921-8395 for all of the entry details. If you're looking for terms and conditions and information, you can find that on the website tropica.co.za. There's nothing smoother than winning when you buy Tropica. To enter for Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao, buy any size and your favorite flavor of Tropica in fresh or long life. Find the unique code behind the label or the sticker. Then follow the entry details on the pack and you could win daily prizes of airtime, cash, LG Q60 smartphones, 55-inch LG UHD smart artificial intelligence digital TVs, steam dishwashers, Caribbean tan hampers, or guest watches. That's more than 100,000 prizes. Now, for your chance at competing in Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao, record a video audition of yourself describing how you would outsmooth your competition on the island. Then load that video onto Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook with hashtag TIOT9 or WhatsApp the video to 063-921-8395. And it could be you winning a share of 1 million rand plus smooth fame and fortune while flying with KLM to the Caribbean for this season of Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome to Wellness Wednesdays with Medicare. I'm going to ask you this question. How easy is it to get affordable professional advice in one consultation? Well, it's gotten a lot easier. Medicare has not only launched affordable healthcare under one roof, but they also offer a one-stop shop solution for holistic healthcare and wellness. Not just about the doctor, but about the entire package. And to tell us a bit more, we have got Medicare pharmacist Tsepo Seforo in studio. Brother, welcome back.
Good to be here.
Medicare now is a one-stop healthcare shop. Can you expand on that for me?
Now, with Medicare, what we're looking at is basically end-to-end holistic healthcare and wellness. So you're looking at having a pharmacist. We have over 100 qualified pharmacists. A lot of our pharmacists have over 35 years of experience.
Sure.
So you've got a lot of experience under their belt. You've got 160 pharmacy assistants. You've got over 50 nurses. And also you've got the video med service, which then allows you to have access to have a doctor under one roof. So that holistic end-to-end one-stop shop is under one roof.
Maybe you can answer this question, being in this space. How often do consumers go to a pharmacy to try to self-treat a condition?
Because times are tough economically and people are penny pinching and they're resorting to Dr. Google, they're not getting the professional advice that they need. So the best thing to do is most people are actually resorting to going to a pharmacy first. That's the first port of call when it comes to getting healthcare advice, getting healthcare diagnosis, getting healthcare treatment. So they're resorting to starting at a pharmacy first before then they escalate to different other healthcare professionals.
What happens in the case if a pharmacist feels that you should then actually see a doctor?
Let's say, for instance, you come to my pharmacy, you as Graham, and we interact and we spend time and I evaluate your case and I feel the need that your case may need further examination. I then refer you to our video med doctor who will then examine you with our nurse under one roof.
How does Medicare keep that personal touch, do you think?
With us as Medicare, our ethos is basically retaining that underlying aspect of community pharmacy. We're retaining that interaction, the building of relationships. When you walk in to our pharmacies, any of our pharmacies in the country, we're looking at you not as a customer or as a patient, we're looking at you as a member of our family. You're a member of the Medicare family. So you walk in, we build relationships with you. You speak to, most of the time you're actually going to speak to a pharmacist. You're going to speak to a qualified pharmacist with, like I said, a lot of our guys have 35 years worth of experience. They're going to give you the advice that you need. They're going to take the time to speak to you. They're not just going to grab a product X off the shelf and just hand it to you. So they're going to take a time to learn and understand your condition and understand your history. Because you have a history. You have a history of medical conditions, your family has a history, so you need someone who's going to be able to understand that and take that into context.
How else have you guys gone to make our lives simpler? Because this seems to be clearly something that you are striving for.
Basically, let me break it down from you from the time that you walk into a Medicare pharmacy. Now, a Medicare pharmacy under one roof. You can see a doctor, consult with a video med doctor.
Love that.
See one of our nurses. You said you've got a 2-year-old. You can have your 2-year-old vaccinated under one roof.
Sure.
You could get your vitamin B injection under one roof. You could get a prescription from a video med doctor under one roof. You could get your OTC medication under one roof, and then still get your daily essentials like your roll-ons, your shower gels, your hair gels. Your hair looks good, by the way.
Thank you, man.
Your hair gels, all under one roof. Because the most important resource is not money. The most important resource that we've got is time.
Yeah.
And time is very limited. You don't want to be shopping from one store to the next store to the next store to the next store looking for different products. You want or different services. You want everything under one roof. End-to-end holistic wellness and healthcare.
So you can feel better faster, first of all.
Exactly.
I think but if you're saving money in the process as well, it doesn't hurt, buddy. It doesn't hurt. Thank you so much. I can see how much this really does mean to you, which makes a huge difference. To me, Medicare is definitely committed to customer relations, something that we often hear as a cliche, but I think it really does ring true here, making our lives easier with a one-stop shop, holistic healthcare and wellness approach. Love it.
Thank you, Greg.
Good man. Good man.
You.
Medicare, reinventing pharmacy for you.
Now, the new Securix ad brings to life the strength and caring attributes of the product being an effective germ protector while at the same time containing aloe vera to care for your skin. The ad has used a fun action movie storyline to demonstrate these two important attributes of the brand. And once again, an ad that not only captures attention, but breaks new ground in soap advertising.
The brief was quite an interesting one. There is so many not very remarkable or interesting soap commercials out there. Do something cool, do something interesting, do something new. That was basically the brief.
We really wanted to do something different, to stand out, to portray the brand and the category in a completely different, entertaining, humorous way.
The theme of the commercial is that they're two kind of secret agents. They go on a mission to clean up the city, and they are fighting germs, and germs are represented by ninjas.
From the beginning, I thought it would be interesting to personalize the properties of the soap.
Securix, it is the best of both worlds, where you have the strength and the power of the germ protection, and then the gentle, soothing aspect of the aloe vera, which come together to bring you, I guess, the perfect bar of soap.
So the concept began by trying to think who would be the best characters to actually personalize, for example, the 99% effectiveness of the soap itself. So we come up with like a modern, competent, like, woman with some gusto, and she personalizes the hard working part of the soap itself that kills germs. And then the man, we wanted somebody that, although is muscle-bound and strong-looking and whatnot, is a gentle character. He represents the Oliveira side.
I really love the girl power theme that's in this ad, where we have a woman action hero as one of the lead characters, which is great as a role model for young girls and women out there.
So it's been a challenging shoot, physically challenging, obviously, for the stunt people. I mean, we had sort of dozens of ninjas running around. We had a really sort of spooky. We went a place that physically demonstrated that there's a dirt on this world.
So the idea of the location was to find a place that represented a kind of dirty, germy world, and that it certainly did. It was kind of dark, big rooms that were bare, empty, pretty derelict. At the end of the ground fighting in the grubby location, the lady agent turns to the big guy and tosses him a bar of soap and says, "Hey bro, it's time to clean up."
Unlike conventional soap ads, we're stepping out of the pristine white bathroom into the real world to bring the benefits of the soap alive, if you like, in the characters of the action heroes, which are the stars of the show. And so it's got everything. It's got drama, it's got entertainment, it's got humor, and it's going to be something that you don't mind watching over and over.
In a dirty world, you need the best protection. Agents 99 and Hard, twins, non-identical.
Disgusting germs.
They look like dirty ninjas.
Germy ninjas.
99 is strong and effective. Hard is classy with a soft touch.
You smell amazing.
I know.
Two heroes working as one.
I got that one.
Wash up, bro. Those were some germy ninjas.
We cleaned up pretty well.
Yeah, we did.
Securix soap, the best of both worlds.
Very cool.
That's very cool, man. Yeah.
When last did you do that?
On these pants, bro.
Wow. All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, listen, do you swipe or tap?
I'm kind of in no man's land.
Do you swipe, tap, or app?
I app a lot.
Do you app a lot?
I'm an apper. But I enjoy a good tap. I do.
We're talking about banking, in case you're wondering. So the big question is, how do you go about making payments these days? Do you use cell phone banking? Do you use the app? Do you use internet banking? Do you tap? Do you swipe? Do you
I do quite like... Do you find after you've tapped, you're like, is that it? It's just...
Yeah, because sometimes it's that easy. You like just...
Really?
Huh? No?
Look,
Okay.
You want my iris scan or something? I don't know.
Every day, brave young kids around our country fight their own private battle against cancer. To show them that other kids and families have got their back, a portion of the proceeds from every NutriKids product sold will go to secure the next Clover NutriKids Choc Home in Port Elizabeth. A support base where children undergoing treatment and their families are accommodated, supported and given a fighting chance against cancer.
Welcome back. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We're live, large and in charge. It's a Wednesday morning and so good to be in your company. Tech news time.
Tech news time. YouTube, they've been up to a lot lately.
Absolutely.
They've launched a new augmented reality feature called AR Beauty Try On iOS and Android. What it does is it enables you to try on lipstick, okay, for the ladies, and later on other types of makeup by tapping the so-called must-hit and TrueView discovery ads associated to the products.
Yeah,
so
very
basically,
exciting stuff.
what it does is that must-hits ads are the videos that autoplay at the top of the mobile app interface. So what happens is that while TrueView discovery ads are the ones that show up at the top of your search results, as well as at the top of your Up Next section when you are viewing a video, you can now distinguish from other videos by the yellow ad moniker, all right? So basically what happens is that the AR Beauty feature will then essentially split YouTube's interface in the app into two halves, where the top half will be used to show the video you just tapped on. On the bottom half, the app will open your front-facing camera. Then use AR filters to allow you to see what different shades of lipstick will look like on you, on your face, basically, yeah. So there is a color selector at the bottom of the interface to make looking at various shades as simple as possible. So what's next? You know, there's the question is like, are we going to be able to change our gender online? Are we going to be able to change our skin complexion online? Are we going to be able to change the type of nose you have, or eyes you have online? It's
so
insane.
much happening. Is this, in fact, a setting that you're going to be using on YouTube? Let us know. Is this a way that you want to interact with YouTube? We heard the other day about what Instagram is going to be doing now, or Facebook rather, that's now going to be releasing Instagram Threads, or it's called Threads, which is a new way of interacting more spontaneously. It allows you to just share automatically, and now YouTube is doing this. Are you excited by all these interesting innovations from the tech companies? Let us know, and also let us know what other news has excited you from the world of technology in general. But right now, we're talking about the future of making payments in banking.
Dion Wired, where humans go for technology.
Thank you, gents. So first we paid with cash, then we paid with cards, and now we pay with our phones. What is next? Every day, global innovations in digital banking are changing the way we see, certainly, and definitely use our money. And here to share what's next in the world of digital banking and payments is the executive of emerging payments for Nedbank, Chipo Mushwana. Chipo, welcome.
Hello, how are you?
Always good, always good. Great to have you on the couch. This is a really interesting discussion to delve a little deeper in, because it feels like we're on a frontier here. I know, having spent a lot of time obviously with the Nedbank team and on that frontier, because you guys try to keep yourself on the fringe, I've got to ask you this quite general question. Is the tech driving what consumers are doing, or is the consumer, what their needs are, driving the tech? Who's winning the battle?
So maybe let's begin by understanding that the introduction of tech has definitely changed consumer behavior and consumer demands, for lack of a better word. Think about the introduction of the cell phone or the personal computer. It exposed consumers to what the possibilities are, right, in terms of technology, and more so in terms of banking. Now what we see is, because consumers are more savvy, consumers understand what they want, they are placing a demand on financial services institutions for what they actually want. They want convenient, they want transparent, and they want cheaper financial services products. And that's what we're seeing. So it started off with the tech, and now we see consumers placing a greater demand on the financial services institutions.
And you've got to answer that demand. You don't have a choice if you want to remain at the forefront. So we're seeing payment methods evolving radically. We've obviously been privy to a lot of those advancements right now. Are we seeing in South Africa a digital banking revolution? Can we call it that? Has it reached that extent?
It's definitely on its way, and it started off, it was quite nascent, but it's maturing quite steadily, right? And what we see, if you have to understand the South African context in the sense that South African, there are certain payment methods that are predominant. Cash is one of them in South Africa, cards, specifically debit cards, and e-commerce to some extent, right? So technology has definitely influenced digital commerce to a great extent, right? And influenced the manner in which we pay. And when you talk about, are you using your app, are you tapping, are you dipping, are you swiping? And we check what's happening all around us, right? We check what's happening in China, for example. We check what's happening globally, where people are using their phones to pay, where people have connected their fridges to their local retail retailer or store to be able to make sure that they never run out of groceries. And we take a step back and we say, okay, so where are we in South Africa?
Where do we
We've
sit in that food chain? Yeah.
some of that stuff. So think about it. In the US today, they still use checks. When was the last time you saw a checkbook in South Africa, right? Not so much. So we've leapfrogged through certain technologies. And you have to understand that payments are actually very contextual. So our South African environment and our nature and our macro environment demanded that we leapfrog. But when it comes to the emergence of other technology, particularly what we call the Internet of Things, which is your phone, your fridge, your house, and connecting all that to effect payments, we're still not there yet. E-commerce, it's nascent, but it's growing steadily in the South African market.
And you know, I think with South Africa, once that change does start to take hold, it can permeate very, very quickly.
It moves very quickly, and that's what we've seen globally. It definitely moves very quickly.
A big part of this relationship we have with technology relates to, and certainly you can even use social media to an extent, is the idea of instant gratification.
Yes.
We want it, and we want it now. Yes. How are banks keeping up with real-time payments, instant settlements, instant clearing? Because you want to know that while we're making these advancements with things becoming faster, that you know, convenience is also becoming better. These things are kind of part of that package.
So this topic around instant payments and instant clear is probably one of the most pervasive topics we have in the payments world globally, right? And we have so many payment schemes that are out there, but still no global standard. So at a global level, we haven't solved this quite yet, right?
We all just want our money now.
Exactly.
Come on,
think
guys,
about it.
come
If
on.
you're able to, if I'm able to make a payment to you and you're running a small business, then it means you have no penalties, economies run faster, quicker, consumers get their money, etc. So the benefits are enormous, and definitely banks play an integral part in making sure that these payments are effected faster and quicker. What does that mean? It means banks have to collaborate and have to talk to each other and create some rules of engagement around how we settle and how we handle a transaction. But also regulation needs to come into place to be able to enable those faster payments to happen. The other thing that financial services institutions definitely have to do is they think about, do we build our own technical capability to be able to enable faster clearance, real-time clearance of payments? And that's normally a very expensive route, and that takes long to implement. So the jury is out on whether banks are going to drive it or whether these fintech businesses are actually going to drive faster and real-time payments.
As a bolt-on to the industry.
But the jury is still out on that one.
I have a feeling it's going to move. Now that you've started on that process, it has to happen. Security, massive concern when it comes to banking, especially in the digital era where so much information is available.
Yeah.
Can you compare security as it relates to banking with your card, or as it relates to kind of in that digital space? How do the two match up, and should you be comparing?
So the rule in security is that, number one, it's incremental. I'll give you an example. Just because you stay in a house and you've got a security fence doesn't mean you shouldn't have cameras inside your house. It's incremental. And the rule of security is you have to have something that is physically present to deter a breach of any sort. Same thing in the banking and in the payments world. You have your physical card, which is probably one of the most secure because we know you have it and you're the person behind the card. When you effect a digital e-commerce transaction, let's say you want to shop online, for lack of a better word, the banks have created means and ways of sending messages to you that enable that transaction is safe and that transaction is secure. So you either get it and approve it message, or you get a one-time PIN. It's not the same PIN you're going to use when you're in store and you're actually buying groceries, etc. And the idea is that message is encrypted and that message is secure and is not open to any form of interference. So it's incremental. You cannot compare the two because both of them work in collaboration and conjunction with each other. The other thing that banks do is something we call tokenization. So in essence, what I do is I take your PIN number and I attach a token. It's like a mask around that particular token. So what I do is when I send that token out, whoever's receiving it will absorb it or consume it based on the fact that it fits that specific requirements that the token should have. But that PIN is still masked in it. And as and when it's necessary, we expose that PIN and that transaction is effected. So that's what we call tokenization, and it's part of the digital commerce transaction process that needs to be in place for it to be safer and quicker.
Okay, well then, knowing that this is all incremental, very quickly, will we see a cardless future?
I don't think so. And I don't think so because payments by default are contextual. And payments by nature, what we are seeing definitely in terms of trends is that consumers want more ways to pay. Right. Just because I can pay with my watch or I can pay with my phone doesn't mean I throw away my card. Right. And normally, the manner in which I pay for something is dictated by the receiver of the money. So if you go to a less informal market today, for example, by default, you generally would use cash. In some economies, you'd use Mobi money, right? But if I go to a large retailer, for example, I definitely will have my card in hand because I know I can use that to pay. So it's very contextual, but what we know is more ways to pay is better.
It's better, but they all kind of work within that same bubble. Old school is still winning, but the new school is catching up fast. We'd love to hear from you guys as well. You can let us know on our social media platforms if you still rely on that bank card and how you use that bank card. Are you tapping? Are you swiping? Are you using your phone to pay? Let us know your thoughts on Expresso's Facebook page, on Twitter as well.
Next time on The Next Brand Ambassador. With the new team leader at the helm, the function takes place.
There's a lot going on.
People seem to be a little bit confused.
It is definitely not expected. What's happening? You had one job, Kitty.
In the boardroom, things get heated.
I'm hearing a lot of excuses again and a lot of justifications, but no accountability.
That's The Next Brand Ambassador. Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. only on SABC3.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for tuning in on this World Hunger Day. And in fact, as part of our efforts to address extreme hunger here in South Africa, the hashtag 1,000,000+1 meal campaign with Rise Against Hunger is now building some serious momentum thanks to you guys, with 90,000 meals already packed. We've only just begun, but we're already close to surpassing last year's total meal pack of 100,000, and it's all on you. So thank you so much. So here are some highlights from an awesome meal pack from this last weekend. Today we are shifting gears to pack the next 40,000 meals in our partnership, hashtag 1,000,000+1 meals with Rise Against Hunger. Today, Somerset Mall has already come alive with some furious packing, lots of laughter, a lot of love, some amazing performances from our ambassadors as we endeavor to pack the next 40,000 meals that will be going into the bellies of some very deserving young children that would have otherwise gone without. Today, I am so proud. I've got two of our amazing packers here, Celeste and young Michael, who is a superhero today, absolutely crushing it, working, I think he's the most furious worker on this entire line. And another box has been packed. Whoop, whoop. Celeste, why have you come here today and why have you brought Michael?
First of all, Michael's a very busy guy, and he loves being involved in things, and it's important that we keep him give back. It's important that we teach him to give back. So yeah, because he's busy, it takes time out of my schedule at home to go and pick up things, and I think it's a great initiative to be here and to give back, because the need is great out there, Graham. It's huge. So it's a privilege for us to be here.
In the past, I never used to have time to do something like this, but somehow it is such an amazing feeling to stand here today and being able to do something for a less fortunate person, and it's a great feeling.
This entire campaign would fall down if we didn't have those willing to sponsor the meals, to sponsor the space to host these activations, to inspire their shoppers to get on board and come and volunteer. And I would imagine right now, Mandy, you are feeling incredibly proud looking at your shoppers filling the rows right here. How are you feeling now that this has actually started and we have got so many volunteers coming out?
There's so much energy in the food court. We are loving it. The fact is everyone's doing it with love and passion, and that's what makes the difference. You know, you need to give back. The mall has been operating for 26 years in the Helderberg area. The fact that we are giving all these meals to the children in this particular Helderberg area is also what anchors it even further.
It's wholesome, it's beautiful, 40,000 meals, no mean feat, and we are well on our way already. As we work towards 1 million plus one meals, and we will continue to look at that plus one at the next child that we have to feed until every little belly is filled. But as the bell sounds, I'm going to say, get back to work, Randy. You got some packing to do. Well done. Why have you made this? Why is it one of the pillars of the way that you live your life, Bud?
Wow, for me it's just important to be part of development and making sure that our kids and young adults understand that there is a place for them. It's important for me to show kids and young adults that they can be whatever they want to be. You know, sometimes they just don't have that positive voice coming to them saying, you know what, I see you, I believe in what you want to become. And that's why I've been traveling around the Western Cape to ensure that the message lands, you know, that they are counted, that they are valued, and that we have a space here in South Africa, despite where you come from, what you don't have. You know, if you've got a mind and if your air is filled with lungs every day, there's an opportunity to affect or be affected.
As we start putting the last few meals in the boxes, 40,000 done and dusted. I am so proud. Well done, Somerset Mall. It's unbelievable. Hopefully this has also restored your faith in your fellow man. Firstly, that there are organizations and places like this willing to set aside their time, work tirelessly towards feeding South Africa's most vulnerable children. But moreover, that just everyday people were willing to set aside whatever they were meant to be doing today to make these children their first priority. In fact, I'm starting to actually believe that we might be able to, as a nation, eradicate extreme hunger. In fact, can we do it? Yes, we can! Oh, well done. An unbelievable day filled with, I think, just pure love. That was the most gratifying part of it for me. So we move on to the next 20,000 meals at the Brackenfell Centre this coming Saturday. So please, if you can, join us there. It's going to be an amazing morning. You saw some great entertainment there. You can sign up at rahafrica.org. Just look for the events tab. Go and click on it. You can pre-sign up, or you can just rock up in Brackenfell at the Brackenfell Centre on Saturday morning. Come and join us to do something with your own two hands. Pack a meal that you know is going to find its way into the belly of the most deserving young child that would have otherwise gone hungry. Time now to get back into those news headlines.
It's just before 7 o'clock, time for those news headlines. A dialogue in Pretoria yesterday heard that South Africans are not xenophobic, but the high unemployment rate in the country and competition for resources create opportunities for some people to use xenophobia as an excuse to commit crime. The Commission for the Promotion and Protection of the Rights of Cultural, Religious and Linguistic Communities organized the dialogue to discuss the challenges foreigners face in South Africa. Stats SA estimate that there are 4 million legal and illegal immigrants in South Africa. Of those, only 800,000 are highly skilled. The National Credit Regulator says that there has been an increase in credit extensions amongst South Africans. Statistics show that the total value of new credit granted in the first quarter of the year had increased by more than 5% to over 134 billion rand. The regulator's Ngwaku Mabeba yesterday said about 40% of consumers are believed to be in bad debt. He said consumers have to make sure that all things that are extravagant should be removed from their budgets. In international headlines, head of the African Union Observer Mission and former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan last night said Mozambicans showed good discipline during voting in the general elections yesterday. Electoral observers were also deployed from the Southern African Development Community, the EU and the Electoral Institute for Sustainable Democracy in Africa. They applauded the government earlier for its efforts to maintain peace and organize secure elections. Around 13 million of Mozambicans' 30 million citizens were registered to vote. Preliminary results are expected to be announced tomorrow. Turkey has ignored U.S. sanctions and pressed on with its offensive in northern Syria yesterday. Russia has meanwhile said it will not allow clashes between Turkish and Syrian forces. Russia's defense ministry said its forces, which have been deployed in Syria since 2015, were patrolling along the line of contact between Syrian and Turkish forces. The Turkish offensive, which began last week soon after the withdrawal of the U.S. troops from the region, aims to oust the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic forces from the border region. And finally, a cockatoo is being nursed back to health in Australia after being shot 5 times with air guns. Mr. Cocky, a sulfur-crested cockatoo, was found by a member of the public in his backyard in Sydney and rushed to a local exotic pet hospital. 1 pellet was lodged millimeters from its left eye, 3 others in its chest and 1 in its shoulder. It was shot with 2 different air rifles. Some pellets were removed, but others left since there was no trauma in his vital organs. The vet said Mr. Cocky was now receiving physiotherapy and he is hoping for a full recovery. He added, Mr. Cocky is very, very lucky to be alive. It's like winning the national lottery. On that note, that's where we leave it. Here's Graham with a look at your sports.
Let's start off with Rugby World Cup news. South African referee Jaco Peyper will take charge of his 50th test on Sunday. That was after he was appointed to officiate over the Rugby World Cup quarter-final match between Wales and France, while England's Wayne Barnes will be in charge of the match between South Africa and host nation Japan. Peyper is one of only 3 South African referees to officiate 50 tests, with Jonathan Kaplan and Craig Yabert being the other 2. Nigel Owens of Wales and France's Jerome Garces will officiate Saturday's quarter-final fixtures as well. Then on to some local football news. PSL table toppers Kaizer Chiefs are going to have to be without the services of veteran goalkeeper Itumeleng Khune, who is going to be out with a groin injury for the next 2 upcoming fixtures. Team coach Ernst Middendorp this week announced that Khune has not recovered in time and won't be available for selection for the rest of the month. He's going to miss the Amakhozi's away match to Cape Town City and their match against the reigning PSL champions Mamelodi Sundowns at Loftus Versfeld for 2 marquee fixtures this season. And staying with the beautiful game, he's done it again. Cristiano Ronaldo reached a career milestone this week by scoring his 700th career goal. That was in Portugal's Euro 2020 qualifier against the Ukraine at the Olympic National Sports Complex in Kiev. The 34-year-old striker scored Portugal's only goal in the match as they went down 2-1 to the Ukraine. But this was his 95th goal for his country. He scored 450 goals for Real Madrid, 118 for Manchester United, and now already 32 for his current club Juventus and 5 for Sporting in his career. What a career at that. That's where we leave our sport for now.
A quick traffic update for you this morning. In Gauteng, in Germiston, there's an accident on the N12 westbound before Craft Road. The emergency lane is currently obstructed and delays can be expected, so please do keep a lookout for this. Moving now over to KwaZulu-Natal. In Durban North, there's protest action on the N2 northbound between Queen Nandi Drive and Avoca Road, Malandela Road and Inanda Road, as well as Newlands East Road. Police are on the scene in these areas, so please use alternative routes to avoid any kind of delays. Taking a look at at the Metro Rail Monte Vista line, there's an extended travel time of between 30 to 40 minutes on the Monte Vista line due to speed restrictions, set out of service, defective signals and defective track circuits between Azerplat and Esplanade as well. So please use that information to plan your routes to work this morning. Travel safely. That's it for the update. Let's take a look at the weather right now.
Thank you, Kat. Now, we've asked you to send in your sunrise pictures. Thank you so much for doing exactly that. Thank you, Sam Cross, for sending us your beautiful sunrise picture from Durban, where an abundance of sunshine can be expected with high humidity and pleasantly warm temperatures today, reaching a maximum of 26 degrees. Samuel Jacobs also sent us his sunrise picture from Beaufort West in the Western Cape, where blazing sunshine can be expected with extremely hot temperatures reaching a maximum of 38 degrees. And now we take a look at those temperatures across the country, starting off in Polokwane, a low of 12 today, reaching a high of 28. If you're out in Mbombela, expect high humidity today, 13. That's where you start off, peaking at 28. Times of sun and clouds out in Pretoria today, 15, reaching a max of 32. With Johannesburg starting off at 14, but peaking at 30 degrees. If you're out in Mahikeng, expect that northeasterly wind, traveling at 18 kilometers per hour, 18. That's your low, reaching a high of 33. Klerksdorp, 17 and 34. Plenty of sunshine expected for Kimberley today, 19, reaching a high of 35. With Bloemfontein starting off at 14, reaching a high of 33. Richards Bay, 18 and 28. With Pietermaritzburg starting off at 15, peaking at 31 degrees. If you're out in South Africa's playground, Durban, sunny day today for you, high humidity as well, 19, reaching a high of 26. Sunny Mthatha starts off at 12, reaching a high of 33. With a northeasterly wind traveling at 20 kilometers per hour for East London, 17, that's your low, reaching a high of 26. And if you're out in Craddock, expect that the lowest temperatures in the country, 11, that's your low, reaching highs of 37. And sunny Port Elizabeth starting off at 15, peaking at 26. Clear skies today for George, 14 and 25. With Sutherland starting off at 14, reaching a high of 32. Cape Town, the mother city, 15, that's your low, reaching a high of 23. With Worcester starting off at 18 and climbing up all the way to 36 degrees. Springbok, 24 and 38, but you've also got the highest temperatures in the country. Sunny, hot day today for you. And Uppington starts off at 22, reaching a high of 38 degrees. No matter what the weather looks like in your country, make it a feel-good Tupper Wednesday. Time now to celebrate your birthdays.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
How can you not feel happy listening to that tune? Just soak it up for just a moment, especially if it's your birthday. We love you. That's why we love to express our love through some really cool birthday messages. Nathaniel is going to join me as we connect with you guys at home. So we're going to start. I love it when you guys send through your videos. That's like the first prize for me. And we've had this particular dedication come through from Marlene Slavers. Take a look at this. It wasn't even on fast forward. That was normal speed. That was just like, too sweet, man. Really, really cool. We love you. To Nina Thomas, you are loved, clearly. Then this one, a happy 5th birthday to my baby boy, Eli. May the good Lord keep blessing you. I love you so much. I'm guessing that's from your mama, Eli. Happy birthday, young.
Oh, lookies, man. We got another one coming through from Lachey. Happy 9th birthday to our big girl, Lachey. We love you so much from Mummy, Daddy, and the sisters.
Cuteness for days, man.
Oh, look. Rabia Fucht, another birthday or message coming through. I wish Rabia a happy 18th birthday, hey? Big girl, 18.
Big one. It's a big one.
May there be many more healthy years and wisdom. Have an awesome day. Love from Johan, Heidi, Zubeida, and AJ.
Happy birthday, girl. Enjoy it. And then a happy 44th birthday to the father of our children, Dumo Veko. May God keep you safe all the time. Your family loves you so much, Dumo. And then a blessed 44th birthday to my sister, Natasha. May the Lord bless you with many more years to come. Have a fabulous day, my sister. And that's love from Cherie and the boys. Like the top, man.
Love it, love it, love it. We've got another one coming through. Happy birthday, a blessed happy birthday to 44-year-old. Oh, no, we did that one. It's Wasila's
That's a birthday we can wish her
It's
twice.
Wasila's time. Happy 32nd birthday to my mom, Wasila Abrams. May you have all that is beautiful on your special day. May the Almighty grant you with good health and strength. From your only child, Asma, your husband, Ibrahim, mom, Radia, and the rest of the family. They're sending you love.
The clan, the whole clan. Happy birthday. You are loved. Then our son, Jamie Davids, is turning 13 years old today. This was quite a big one, a milestone. We wish you a happy birthday filled with tons of love and fun. Lots of love from your parents, Rochelle and Neil, and your sister, Shyla. Happy birthday, big guy. And then happy 13th birthday as well to Jalen. We love you and you hope you have a blessed day. And that's from Mummy, Daddy, Lee Ryle, and Jay Dean as well.
Ooh, and we've got a big 40 coming through. Victor, it's Victor's 40th birthday. May God give you many more years. From your sister, Mtase Ntobizanele.
Ntobizanele. She loves you, man.
And then also Troy Naidu. I would like to wish my son, Troy Naidu, a very happy 7th birthday. Thank you for your 7 wonderful years. May you be blessed with many more to come. Have a blessed day. Happy birthday to all of you, man.
To all, and I know there are tons that we didn't get through. Hopefully you even saw your name kind of on that call at the bottom of the screen there as well. It is your birthday. You deserve a special day. Hopefully you're going to get spoilt rotten today. To all those that we didn't get through, we love you just as much. If you want to send through a dedication, give us a good 24-hour lead time at least and send those birthday messages to birthdays@cordova.tv is the one, or you can just WhatsApp us a cool video like the one we saw today, 07164065551. That is Nathaniel's number that you can WhatsApp. No, it's not. It's not his number.
Yeah,
that is our number that you can WhatsApp those cool videos to. We'd love to play them on the show tomorrow. Get on it, guys. Get on it.
Okay, sweetie, time to blow out your candles.
Don't ruin the moment. Prevent allergies or cold and flu with fast-acting powder nasal spray from the Nexa range. Nexa, brought to you by Pharma Dynamics.
Well, just a quick reminder to you that you still have the opportunity to enter to star in Tropica Island of Treasure, Curacao, especially if you're looking for fame and fortune. Now, you could be selected as one of the 6 consumer contestants going to Curacao in the Caribbean, and of course featured on the hit TV series. Plus, you then also stand a chance of winning a shared 1 million rand with a celebrity partner. All you need to do is WhatsApp the keyword TIOT9 to the number 063-921-8395 to get all of the entry details. And also remember to buy Tropica for all the details on how you can stand a chance of winning hundreds and thousands of prizes. Really great stuff up for grabs. Now, who knows? If you do all of that, it could be you winning with Tropica Island of Treasure. So one more reminder, WhatsApp that keyword TIOT9 to the number 063-921-8395 for all of the entry details. T's and C's apply, and for more information, you can go to the website tropica.co.za. We'll see you after the break. There's nothing smoother than winning when you buy Tropica. To enter for Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao, buy any size and your favorite flavor of Tropica in fresh or long life. Find the unique code behind the label or the sticker. Then follow the entry details on the pack and you could win daily prizes of airtime, cash, LG Q60 smartphones, 55-inch LG UHD smart artificial intelligence digital TVs, steam dishwashers, Caribbean tan hampers, or guest watches. That's more than 100,000 prizes. Now, for your chance at competing in Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao, record a video audition of yourself describing how you would outsmooth your competition on the island. Then load that video onto Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook with hashtag TIOT9 or WhatsApp the video to 063-921-8395. And it could be you winning a share of 1 million rand plus smooth fame and fortune while flying with KLM to the Caribbean for this season of Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao.
to go. I'm so hungry for a kiss. I wish that I could help her. Or a gentle touch. She really needs a friend. Wouldn't that be bliss? She's desperate and I hate to think I need love so much. Oh, this whole thing will end. Every day I walk through fire. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Whilst many of us may already have a car insurance in place, there are actually a few useful tips to help us make the most of our insurance and maybe reconsider how we can further protect our most prized asset. Let's be honest, we love our cars. It might be one of the most, if not the most valuable asset we actually own. So here to guide us through our options is Nolwandle Mbalo, the Managing Director for Standard Insurance Limited. Welcome back. Good to connect with you. I've heard that a tracking device in your car can actually affect, if not bring down, the price of your insurance. Is that the case?
It is the case, Graham. I think the first part, though, is that the tracking device is there to help mitigate the risk for you as the driver or the consumer, but also to give benefit back to you. So there's different types of tracking devices. So installing a tracking device in a car not only helps the insurer be able to trace the vehicle or recover the vehicle quickly, but also there's a benefit to you as a customer as well for your safety, but also, as you alluded to earlier, so we can help you reduce your premium.
You mentioned different devices. What different devices can you get?
There are quite a lot manufacturers there, and I think put simply, there's two areas that one can look at. There's reactive type of devices, which actually get activated once you call for response. And there's also proactive devices, which on an ongoing basis detect your movements as to where you are, whether you're actually in a safer area, and alerts you proactively, you as a consumer or whoever you've actually listed on the list there, to be contacted in the event that you are in trouble.
Different layers of protection, which are absolutely love. We often think about kind of the end result of maybe just an accident when we're thinking about our cover, but there are so many, a myriad of other options, ways that you can protect yourself, even be proactive before something goes wrong, which is really important. What kinds of cover are related to this, and what kinds of cover can I get?
Well, you can get a cover, as I said, primarily for tracking your movements in terms of when you are in a zone that is actually not your usual path or safe area. The second part is really just overall, if you're actually in danger. In the event of an accident, it proactively actually picks up that there's an accident, and it will alert your insurer to be able to proactively contact you. So in both, in the protective, you've got the benefit that you are contacted proactively by the insurer in the event of an incident without actually even you having to activate that. The disadvantage also on the reactive side is that you have to call for a response. In most of the situation, you could be incapacitated, but your tracking device that is actually geared to proactively protect you is activated.
Wow. Yeah. I think most important, you've got to phone in and ask about these options, find out which one applies to you, which one will help you the most, which one will obviously impact your premium the most. I think that's also a double-edged sword here, in that you can protect yourself further, but you can also bring down your premium. Thank you so much. So protect your car and protect what matters most to you, and in fact, protect yourself with the right kind of car insurance for a personalized quote that matches your needs and your budgets. SMS INSURE to 30788. And there's a nice little bonus when you SMS in and you get that quote, you stand the chance of winning a state-of-the-art Samsung Galaxy S10. Remember that standard SMS rates do apply, and you can, no free SMSs sadly, but you can find all the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com.
Get an insurance quote and stand a chance to win one of 6 Samsung S10 smartphones. Simply SMS the keyword INSURE to 30788 for a callback and a quote, and you could be a winner.
So it's time for another edition of our Wednesday feature where we focus on the more unconventional side of the law. It's called So Now What? And we're joined once again by our expert lawyer and friend in all things legal, director at legalese.co.za, Eitan Stern. Good to have you back with us, sir.
Great to be here.
So today the question is, I'm being watched at work, so now what? Okay, we'll be focusing on what your legal rights and recourses are when it comes to the measures of surveillance that are allowed in the workplace. A very, very interesting topic indeed, right?
I mean, you guys are really being surveyed in the workplace, more so
all the time, I think.
By the entire nation.
There's a lot of watching of us going on over here, but we completely understand an employer's motive to apply means of surveillance. You know, they've got, most of them will have very valuable assets that they want to protect and keep an eye on, but what other means and reasons would an employer want to keep an eye on people?
Okay, so for the most part, it's going to really be security. So, you know, the employer might put cameras up around, say, a factory or an office for security reasons to keep things safe. It's not there to, like, watch people to make sure if they're working, but it's to keep things safe. And it can be a really good idea if an employer needs to have evidence of something going on in an office, or to protect protect whatever assets they have in the office. So that's generally going to be the reason that there's surveillance in a workplace.
Yeah. Let's discuss the legal means with which an employer can survey the workspace, right? So cameras are the obvious one. CCTV footage there. What other legal means are there and are allowed?
So it's really important for everyone to remember, when you're at your work, pretty much everything that you use, and when we talk about electronic devices, it's the company property, and the company's allowed to survey it. So if you're on a company phone, if you're on a company computer, technically, if you're on a company Wi-Fi system, the company is allowed to survey what's going on. So you really don't have... What you've got to remember about the right to privacy is it's not an absolute right. We don't always have the right to privacy. So when you're using workplace digital assets, phones and computers, you have quite a low expectation of privacy. So you really have to be wary.
So under which instances would an employer be allowed to legally use the information found from such surveillance?
Sure.
So if they've got a camera around and it's recording the entire time, when would they be legally allowed and able to use that footage?
Okay, so the answer to that is pretty much any time they want. You got to remember that everything in the workplace belongs to the employer, and they can use it for whatever they want. So if there's a hearing about your conduct in the workplace, or if there's something that's been stolen, they can use any of the digital records and any of the cameras. They don't have the right to look in the bathrooms or change rooms or something like that, because there you have a right to privacy. But if you're on a workplace device, your employer can use it. So it's really, really important for people to remember, let's say you're hunting for a job. Don't do it from your company email address. You know, use a private email address, and because your company is allowed to use anything that you do on their premises or on their devices when it's related to work. They're allowed to use it for their purposes.
So what you're basically saying is, as soon as you step onto the company's property, you are essentially giving up your right to privacy to a certain extent.
To a certain extent. Obviously, if you went to the bathroom or if you're in the change room, you know, I was discussing it with the ladies who do makeup over here. Obviously, they can't put cameras in the makeup room because people change in there. So you've got, of course, you do have rights to privacy, but if you're doing work and you're within the course and scope of your work, your right to privacy is very much more limited.
So there are limitations. We're chatting with Eitan Stern, director at Legalese, resident sort of legal experts. We're asking, so now what when it comes to workplace surveillance? Do you have any questions to do with it? Let us know on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3. It's an interesting conversation that must go on because people often wonder, right?
And we'd love to engage with you as well. If you take a look at our Expresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page, we've also asked you the question. Maybe are you in a situation at work where you feel the surveillance is perhaps unwarranted, perhaps illegal? How do you feel about your boss having access to you as a person? I guess 24/7 would be if you were an overtime worker. So we're talking about surveillance at the workplace. How do you feel about that? Let us know, engage with us. We'd love to read some of your comments. We'll be back with Eitan Stern very shortly.
Katlejo, what time is it? So 3 boxes, but now you will see that there are only 2. And one of these might be yours. In one of these 2 boxes is the iPhone 11, and in the other box, either one of these, is the Samsung Galaxy Note 10. Both awesome devices, incredible phones, courtesy, of course, of Dion Wired. And to get yourself in the running to win, all you have to do is SMS the keyword Dion Wired, your name and your email address to 33728. And get this, that's not even it. Every time you SMS in, you're also entered into the grand prize draw to win a 30-second trolley dash in a Dion Wired worth 100,000 Rand. Imagine all the TVs, the fridges, the phones, PlayStations. You could get all of that. It could be yours, so get those SMSs in ASAP. Remember that it's going to be costing you about R1.50 for that SMS. No free SMSs apply. And the competition is closing on the 23rd of October next week. So get on it and get on it now. And you can find all the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com. I wonder.
Well, we're going to take a very quick moment, but not before we recognize that the legendary Mr. David Kromer is in the studio! Oh, man. Brand new production at the Backstage, which we'll chat about very shortly. Great to have you here with us.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
Lovely.
Listen, we're going to treat you to some of the best coffee you've ever had. How do you take yours?
I'd like an Americano with a little bit of cold milk, please.
A little bit of cold milk. Sis Princess?
Wow.
Will you take care of that?
Yes.
We've never had Sis Princess say wow to somebody's coffee order before, so it's certainly making an impression. And we're excited to talk about the new production, Danger in the Dark, which we'll chat about shortly after the break. Stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. One more time, David Kromer's in the studio! Oh, my word. Yes.
Save big this week with Dion Wired. Get a laser TV projector and 80-inch TV screen bundle for $49,999. Upgrade your kitchen with a Smeg kettle for as little as $24,999. Impress with a silver Samsung side-by-side fridge for $19,999. Jam it up with a JBL Flip 5 for an incredible $1,999. And get a new 32-gig iPad for $55,999.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to it. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso live right here on SABC3. We've asked you the question on social media. Would you be comfortable knowing your boss is watching you 24/7 with camera surveillance? Do you have this kind of experience, this kind of security setup in your office already? We've received some pretty interesting comments that have come through. Here's the first one from Prosper. DJ Docs Sabata, who says, "Shoo, my workplace is like Tyler Perry's studio. Cameras everywhere. That guy even saw someone stealing when he was on holiday in France. I can't."
That's why, baby. That's
There's
why.
the first one. Luanne Dupree says, when I worked at a pre-primary school, there were cameras in each class the whole day.
Okay.
We as teachers became used to it, and that's why the school is one of the best in South Africa, because they're being watched.
Where kids are involved.
You gotta watch. You gotta watch, people. Here's one from Antoinette Elon Willemse. Says, "Morning, guys. Yes, I would. In case something happens or someone walks in and steals something, and then you can trace all cameras to catch the person. Also, if you have nothing to hide, what's the problem? I love it. It's like I'm in a movie. So smile. You're on camera." That's Antoinette Willemse.
I'm glad people have a sense of humour about all of this, man.
That's a pretty good attitude.
Yeah, man. You've got to do it. Look, the reality is the cameras are there, and as you've stipulated, you're allowed to have the cameras there.
Sure.
You know, if while the boss is away in France, people are stealing, that kind of reinforces why we need the cameras there. But let's flip the script just a little bit here. As an employee, a fellow employee, can I surveil? Because we know that things can happen.
Sure.
You might be subject to abuse, to bullying. You might be aware of sexual abuse, harassment. Where do we sit in the legal framework with ourselves coming in and recording stuff in the office?
So it's a tricky question with no exact answer. What you got to know is that what you got to remember is that a workplace often is going to have confidential information. So if you are going and recording things in the workplace, you might be recording company confidential information, and that can be a crime and a problem in and of itself. So it's always going to be a bit dodgy or risky in order to record things in the workplace. That being said, if you are part of a conversation or if you feel like you need evidence about a crime, then you could potentially record it. It gets very complex in terms of using that evidence in a court case or a tribunal, so it's hard to give an exact answer there.
Just adding on to that, to be able to, if you've got video footage of something like that happening, what is the context of that to make it stand up in court?
It's too complex to answer in one right now.
In one day.
It's the laws of evidence are deep and complex, and you have to balance the people's right to privacy against our right to gather evidence. So it's too complex to answer, but it's always going to be problematic. What I can say is if you do see sexual harassment in the workplace, your first thing you should be doing is reporting it to management, and if it is your manager or boss that's doing the sexual harassment, then you got to go to the CCMA rather than trying to become a private eye yourself.
So would an employee be able to use what they've recorded of surveillance, for example, for personal use? So, for example, if I played, let's say, a prank on Graham over here, which happens.
Which does happen. These sorts of things happen a lot on our set.
Would I be able to pull that footage and use it for my own personal social media, for example?
Okay, so I mean you could, but you might get sued or fired. So
okay, all right, okay, we don't want.
I feel like you set him up and you snapped him down.
It really kind of depends on the workplace. I imagine here around you guys, it's about more of an informal workplace, and it's all about what's on camera. But you got to remember, if you put something on social media and your boss, if the person is offended and unhappy with it, they could take action against you. And if your boss is unhappy with you putting things around the workplace or you playing pranks at work, and if they see that, you could get in trouble. So, in theory, I guess you could, but there can always be consequences.
Repercussions.
Let me kind of bolt on another thing, because this feels really dodgy. But if a person owns the rights to that footage, can they use it for their own personal use? So, for instance, if they're seeing things that interest them, something that's funny, that they want to keep that video, maybe a particular employee is looking rather attractive that particular day, where do they stand on what they can use that footage for? If they own the cameras, own the building, own the workspace?
Sure. So in general, that's going to be a very, very bad idea. If you're showing footage of people that you think are attractive, that's probably going to be sexual harassment in the workplace. And if you are using the data that you gather at your workplace for your personal use, you're probably going to be breaching data privacy laws. So in general, surveying people is a very serious thing and has to be treated seriously. If an employer is going to be surveying its staff, then they're going to make sure they're doing it for security and in a reasonable way. And if they're doing it just to gather footage for their social media, then it's probably going to be trouble.
That being said, I mean, do we have any way of checking something like that? Can you have the right to say, I'd like to know what this footage is being used for and how it's being used? Is that something that you can do?
I'm going to have to go back to my law professors to find out that one. That's a interesting question. I don't know the answer to it.
It's taken us about 3 years, but I think I finally might have stumped you, bro. I think I might have done it.
Well, hopefully we've equipped you this morning with the understanding of how certain surveillance operates in the workplace, as well as
business.
Serious business all the time, but also how to legally record fraud within your premises if you are an employer, and hopefully this has helped you lots. We'd like to hear about your stories as well. Still on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3. Some funny ones coming through there. Keep them coming.
Well, bring over all of your cameras. We don't mind them as they survey this conversation that's about to ensue around this table. Now, David Kramer's Danger in the Dark is a reworking of the hit musical Poison, which he and the legendary late Talib Peterson wrote in the 90s. This production comes to the Baxter Theatre for a limited season only from the 11th of October to the 2nd of November at 7:30 p.m. with Saturday matinees at 2 p.m. And the legendary David Kramer is here in studio. Come on, Expresso, celebrate! Ululate! Beautiful to have you here, sir. And quite an interesting little side conversation we were having earlier on about how back in the day, all these things about, surveillance and cameras rolling everywhere was quite a different story in your day.
Absolutely. I mean, you had to sign a deal with a recording company before, anyone recorded you and go into a TV studio and the whole, it was all so formalized. Permission. Now, I pull out the guitar in the rehearsal room and, 5 people are videoing it, And
it's already live on Facebook. But it's great to have you here to talk about what you're currently doing. Last night was the opening night of Danger in the Dark. How did it go?
Well, I couldn't have expected any better. It went very well. It was a wonderfully warm and I think heartfelt reception.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. So this is a reworking of the 90s musical.
Yes. Talib and I wrote this musical 27 years ago, and we went to Malaysia, and so I was invited by the Baxter a few months ago to do it, and I thought this would be a good time to rework it and tell the story more from a female perspective.
Okay.
Especially now, with the way things are going and the focus on abusive relationships and femicide and so on. It is a story of femicide. It's a musical, though.
Yes. But that touches a real issue.
Yeah, so it's an issue, and I think it's relevant for its times, and so that's why I wanted to rewrite it, rework it, using most of the songs we created together, Talib and I, with a little bit of additional work now.
Yeah.
But a retelling of the story.
Yeah. For those that have never seen or had the privilege of seeing Poison before, give us a bit of a background on the story, the characters involved. I understand it unfolds and plays out in about 1995 in the Cape Flats.
Yes, when we wrote it was the 90s, and it focused then on gangsterism and drug dealing and so on. But this version now focuses, it's a story of a young woman who's a social worker who discovers that a school friend has become involved in an abusive relationship with a Cape Flats drug lord. Wow. And she wants to rescue her from that situation. So that's her motive, and that's how the story plays out against in the world unfortunately, of drug dealing and how drugs are affecting children. So it's very much about trying to rally the people to stand up to the abuse of drugs on the Cape Flats.
Yeah, a very poignant story, especially given what is happening currently in the Western Cape, and like you've just touched on right now with femicide and the whole issue of gender-based violence. Why do you think it's so important to be telling stories like this at this time, especially in an artistic sense? Like
because I think what art does and what the musical theatre can do is to focus something into a very emotional 2 hours. So you can have these conversations, bits and pieces of information, that are going on all the time, and people on social media, and it's all fragmented. I think what the arts does is, you pull everything together to make some kind of sense of it, and to convey a story that will resonate with the audience. That's what it does, as opposed to just being, sort of little bits and pieces of conversation.
Yeah. A little earlier on, I was just sitting down and listening to yourself and the two young ladies, Rishni and Alexis, sound checking. Absolutely wonderful, beautiful music. Tell us about the cast and who are some of the names we can expect to be seeing on the stage.
I have a superb company, really, where there are 8 lead characters, and I'm working with some people that I've worked with before, like Rishni Ferguson is playing the Juanita role, Alexis Alexis Peterson is playing the main role of Pamela, and I'm working with Lukman Adams, who who first joined District 6 when he was 10 years old, and he's now playing the older man with the grey in his beard.
Well, yeah, which he has naturally.
Yeah, he has naturally.
Not much makeup required.
So he's gone from 10 into his 40s. And then there's the Elton Landru, who also has worked with me internationally. Wonderful, film and TV actor. And then there's a newcomer for me, Tashreeq, is playing Lucky, and a young student from the Waterfront School, Chad, is playing the Sean role. And then there's Edith Plaikis, who, with a beautiful voice, who sang in Orpheus in Africa and in King Kong, remember?
Beautiful.
And she plays the role of Mrs. Joseph. And then we have the most superb dance ensemble. We have 14 dancers under the direction of Grant van Ster and Sean Ulf, and that's something to behold. It's really great.
I mean, just look at those scenes. Oh, fantastic to have you here with us. Thank you for bringing the great news, and we look forward to the music that ensues a little bit later on. Danger in the Dark is on at the Baxter Theatre here in Cape Town from the 11th of October. Last night was opening night, and all the way through until the 2nd of October, and tickets are available.
2nd November.
Oh, excuse me, 2nd of November. Otherwise, I'd be taking it back.
You would be.
Okay, exactly.
Back to
so
the
get
future.
those tickets and make sure to support it.
It's your time to shine with Orbit Gum and Presenter Search on 3, the Expresso edition. Follow the journey as the top contestants work through weeks of grueling challenges, fighting for one of 2 presenter spots on Expresso, all to be decided in a nail-biting finale. It's your time to shine with Presenter Search on 3, the Expresso edition. Wednesday evenings at 7:30, repeat Saturdays at 1, only on SABC3. Making an occasion out of a meal. The perfect atmosphere, even a show-stopping ensemble, is the level of taste that makes someone a taste master. That's SA's newest reality show on SABC3, where one individual will become the resident foodie on Afternoon Express. Record yourself preparing a dish. Tell us why you're a taste master and upload it onto Twitter or Instagram using the hashtag #TasteMasterSA. You could be the Taste Master.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show, live, large and in charge on this Wednesday morning. Thank you for joining us at the start of a brand new day. Now, today is World Food Day, a day where we are encouraged to promote worldwide awareness and action for those who suffer from hunger and for the need to ensure healthy diets for all. Now, the United Nations has shown that a zero-hunger world is possible by 2030, only if we all come together and take responsible action from today. Now, with 13.9 million people in South Africa facing the threat of hunger, Woolworths is stepping up their game, and they aim to unite employees, customers, suppliers, farmers and other partners to alleviate hunger and ensure every South African has access to sufficient nutrition for every single day, so that we can share in that #ZeroHunger future. We're joined by a lovely panel, Zinzi, Tatiana, Tsepiso and Mashao. Thank you very much for being here today to talk to us about this very, very pressing issue, which it is.
It is.
Let's talk first about why it is so important for us to build on each other's strengths, because there's a lot of stakeholders that are holding hands in order to ensure that we do reach this #ZeroHunger future. And it's not an effort that involves only one organization or one person, but all of us coming together, and that's very important.
No, that's very important, Katlego, because I think the challenge itself requires that. It's got dimensional aspects to it, multidimensional aspects to it. It's not only about access, it's not just about any food, it's nutritious food. So it requires all hands on deck, and I think you can see as today, business has a role to play, particularly a business like Woolworths who's passionate about food. So we've got to be worried about, should be contributing to this zero hunger future.
Absolutely.
And we have our experts, which we rely on to really inform how do we navigate this, because it's quite a complex challenge we have. And we have our NGO agency, Food and Trees for Africa, represented by Tsepiso, as well as the beneficiaries of this, and we hear lovely stories of this. So the real thing is to make an impact, and we don't believe we can make that impact on ourselves.
Yeah. When we talk about 13.9 million people facing the threat of hunger, that's a massive number to tackle, and that's just in South Africa alone. So let's talk about what Woolworths is doing to support this #ZeroHunger future.
I think what we really were conscious about is that we can't do this alone. We brought in a lot of partners to support us, but we also look at what are the different aspects to it. Because we are a food retailer ourselves and quite passionate about it, it was important that we create access, so we donate a lot of surplus food from our value chain, but we also recruit our suppliers to do the same. Instead of having all this food being plowed back into landfill, it's really not acceptable in a country like this. So we create access in donating that, and also we train kids through the EduPlan program in schools, and it's about changing mindsets as well. It's for the kids as they grow up to understand where foods come from and have appreciation of nutritious food. So we partner with Food and Trees for Africa around that. And then we've created a living farm, which is a model that we're testing with other partners like Sustainability Institute. So you can see, for us, we're looking at where we can make a difference and with the things that we do and passionate about. But our customers and our employees also get involved. Just today, we've got a whole lot of our employees out nationally in different gardens, in the EduPlan gardens. Supporting and volunteering and giving time.
That's amazing. And I like that the EduPlan program focuses on the little ones, because the future is in their hands and we need to give them the tools in order to steer the ship in the right kind of direction. So Tsepiso, tell me a bit more about the EduPlan program, how it works and how it is pushing the narrative forward towards zero hunger.
All right. So the EduPlan is initiated and managed by Food and Trees for Africa. And we've been in partnership with the Woolworths Trust for over 15 years now. So it's been an amazing journey.
A very fruitful partnership.
A very fruitful journey with the Woolworths Trust. And what the program just aims to do is that we aim to increase the availability of nutritious food through permaculture food gardens in schools. And the program also enables schools and communities at large to grow their food in a sustainable, healthy and environmental way. And what we see with the EduPlan is that the schools, not only are they growing the food, but they're actually taking their harvest back into the school kitchen and they're supplementing their feeding schemes.
Wow.
So that is the reach. And also what we are also finding with the EduPlan is that the educators are taking back the teachings from the workshops and integrating them into the classrooms and into the school's curriculum, teaching kids about the history of food and basic math skills through the food garden.
Yeah. Mashawa, you're a first-hand beneficiary of the EduPlant program. Tell us a bit more about how the program has influenced your life and the skills that you've taken while we look at this very strapping picture of you on the screen right now.
Oh, wow, that's a handsome gentleman.
That's a handsome gentleman, right?
You know, what Tepi was saying is absolutely true. You know, the school curriculum really using permaculture methods and teaching us about gardening. That's exactly what happened to me. I grew up in Tefluop and went to Toronto Primary School, which is outside Polokwane. And then the teacher started teaching us, you know, permaculture methods, taking us into the garden. And I really got intrigued, you know, by nature and sustainability. So from there on, I said, okay, how can I help? What more can I do? That's when one day she came and said, you like to speak a lot. You're going to be part of the EduPlant program. Represented my school provincially and then nationally. Next thing I knew, we won the national trophy. That was my first trophy that I ever won nationally.
Wow.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So that just took my career to greater and greater heights. And then I studied environmental science at UCT because of what the program did, you know, really fueling my love for nature.
Wow.
And then with my social media platform as well, I'm also an influencer. So I really try to use sustainability principles and also, you know, just teach people we only have one world. And I do say that in the video, and we have to take care of it.
My word, imagine if we could have more young men and young women like you coming out of school with as much knowledge, confidence and advocacy as well. That's truly wonderful. Congratulations to you. Tatiana, let's talk about food security, because it might be a very difficult concept for a lot of people to understand. The length and breadth of it, especially in the food insecurity context in South Africa, and the impact that it has on things like hunger and nutrition as well.
Yeah, so I think the first thing to understand is that hunger and poverty are inextricably linked. And as South Africa experiences rising rates of poverty, so we are finding that people have less and less ability to have affordable and access, as Lindsay says, to nutritious food. And I mean, the rates are really disturbing, and what's particularly frightening is that they're highest in children under 5. And these are children who are suffering from forms of malnutrition that actually will present in permanent disability. So either physical or mental stunting, which means they'll never reach their full potential. So whilst we talk about things like free tertiary education and things like that in South Africa, if we're not feeding our pregnant mothers and children correctly, we will never reach the potential heights that South Africa can reach, really with the generation that's coming up now.
Yeah. So now we have all of you wonderful people through various organizations doing amazing things, but now it's time for us as consumers, perhaps viewers at home, to not just have a voice and speak about it, but to do something. So Zinzi, what can we do to help?
I think for me, Katlego, it really starts simple. As South Africans, we all have a role to play in just conscientizing ourselves how we use food, how we shouldn't use waste food, how we can repurpose. I mean, think about it. Some of the food leftovers in our fridges, start donating before it really goes off, or start repurposing into your lunchbox. And it starts really small. But Woolies has created an opportunity for everyone to get, you know, to rally behind this zero hunger future. So if today you sign up, you know, for my school, and particularly choose Woolworths Trust as your beneficiary, you know, for a while right into December, and particularly at the time when everybody is lush and having, excess food. Exactly. And excess food. It's time to think, how do I give back? So with swiping, we're really getting our customers to participate in eradicating and really contributing to this big challenge.
All right. So for someone like me who is a Woolworths store card holder and a My School card holder, I need to choose the Woolworths Trust as my beneficiary, and I'll be doing my bit.
And then it will support all of the, projects that we're putting in place to make a dent. in this challenge.
More showers in this one.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you very much for bringing the great news to us. We really do appreciate it very much. So commit by joining us on this journey to make a difference and select Woolworths Trust as your My School beneficiary. And every time you shop and swipe your linked Woolies or My School card, we will donate a percentage of your spend to share, of course, in the pursuit of the #ZeroHunger future. Thank you very much for joining us. We really
Thank you so much.
We'll see you after the break.
Bring home more than just memories of Mauritius with Club Med's all-inclusive holiday packages for families, friends and active couples. Choose from 3 Club Med Mauritius resorts and save up to 15% on your December 2019 booking with their early booking bonus. Extra bonus, kids under 12 stay free in Mauritius and fly free on Air Mauritius. Contact the agency by Club Med to book and visit clubmed.co.za for details.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast show on this Wednesday morning. So good to be in your company. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, David Kramer has decided to roll back the years and restage the musical Poison under a new name, Danger in the Dark. And the musical has given its relevant, content currently lived out daily in our communities, as well as in painfully beautiful narrative that's told, and a soaring music as well that you'll hear a little bit later on. He joins us to let us know a bit more about the production itself of Danger in the Dark, and also joining him on the couch, Grant van Stad, Assistant Director and Choreographer of Danger in the Dark. Great to have both of you here, gentlemen. Grant, I hope you heard David singing your praises earlier.
Yeah.
What a wonderful contribution you're making to this. But this is, as you said earlier on, David, it's a huge company. You've got a stellar cast of 8 leads. You've got some 14 in the choruses, 5 band musicians, so quite an ensemble. What does a typical rehearsal day look like? You get there and everyone is sound checking, tuning their instruments, and at some point you've got to say, guys, oh, okay, we're going to start now.
Well, I say, Grant, get some order here. Get some order. I was being easier, and he shouts at them.
Yeah.
But it's the way that we work is very much. I mean, we have a plan. We certainly start with singing and songs and learning the music and so on. You know, that's the first important thing. So depending on which sort of phase of the rehearsal you're in, you start with the music, and then afterwards go on to the choreography.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we've been blessed with an amazing cast. Talented, incredible. I mean, the dynamic, the uniqueness that they bring to the production is just incredible. Like we would have a meeting in the morning, a creative meeting, followed by a physical and vocal warm-up, and then we would attack the day with rehearsals.
And what is it like seeing it all come to fruition? Because it's months and months, if not years, in the case of the musical that's been in existence for so long, watching it all come to fruition. And after all of these rehearsals,
oh my God, it's the biggest reward ever.
Like yesterday must have been amazing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, we were blown away by the response. People, like the feedback is just amazing. amazing. Yeah, incredible work out there.
Yeah. Without giving too much away, let's talk a little bit about what people can expect in the music itself. I mean, we've talked about the relevance of the tragic story that it tells, in the sense that it really addresses the issue of gender-based violence, but it also speaks very much to the true sense of what is currently happening in the communities of the Western Cape.
Yes, I think, you know, this is really... This is very much a musical in the true sense of a musical. There are many songs. The story is told through song, so there's lots of beautiful singing. A fantastic band under the direction of Camillo Lombard. I mean, the arrangements are fantastic. He's really done Talib's music proud.
Wow.
You know, so there's the singing, there's this fantastic choreography, because there's some really big, strong, lively numbers.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that picture alone for me says so much.
And
the costume.
I have to mention Sean Orphy. He's been amazing. Absolutely. He's co-choreographer with myself.
Yes.
He's been amazing working with him and collaborating with him and just getting the dance to stand out. Ideas just been flowing.
Am I expecting to sit in the audience and to feel heavy? Am I going to be crying a lot? Am I going to be laughing a little bit? Am I going to be singing along?
It's a compelling story.
Yes, yes.
I think what we have focused on throughout the rehearsals, we keep coming back to this thing, is that we are using the musical genre to tell a story. We use music and dance and lighting and set and always to tell the story. And it's a compelling story of a young woman trying to rescue her friend from an abusive relationship, and the B story is about this drug merchant who wants to get his revenge. So the audience is leaning into the story all the time, because the stakes are high and it gets more and more and more intense. So yeah, it doesn't make you feel down. I think it's just hugely entertaining.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it's got the makings of a short series somewhere. I don't know.
That could be a movie.
Possibly.
This could be a movie.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's a very dramatic.
Completely. It takes you from a journey from beginning to end, and you don't want to leave your seat. You just want to stay fixed to the action happening on stage.
Brilliant, brilliant. That's the kind of entertainment we want as well. David, what can we expect from you in the future?
Me?
Yes. Are you? What else are you doing? You're a very busy man.
I don't want to stop. You know, I don't want to stop. I've been in this business for 40 years now, and writing the musicals for the last 35 years. So as long as my brain keeps working, I'm happy. And the brain is the factory. The ideas will come. I have one or two things I still want to explore.
Excellent.
So yeah, watch the space between my ears.
Well, the couch is always open and ready for you. Thanks for joining us, Grant. And good luck with the rest of the run from the 11th of October until the 2nd of November at the Baxter Theatre. It's called Danger in the Dark.
It's just hit 8 o'clock. Time for us to take a look at those news headlines. A dialogue in Pretoria yesterday heard that South Africans are not xenophobic, but the high unemployment rate in the country and competition for resources create opportunities for some people to use xenophobia as an excuse to commit crime. The Commission for the Promotion and Protection of the Rights of Cultural, Religious and Linguistic Communities organized the dialogue to discuss the challenges foreigners face in South Africa. Statistics South Africa estimate that there are 4 million legal and illegal immigrants in South Africa. Of those, only some 800,000 are highly skilled. The National Credit Regulator said that there has been an increase in credit extensions amongst South Africans. Statistics show that the total value for new credit granted in the first quarter of the year had increased by more than 5% to over 134 billion rand. The regulator's Ngwako Mabeba yesterday said about 40% of consumers are believed to be in bad debt. He said consumers need to make sure that all things that are extravagant should be removed from their budgets. In international headlines, head of the African Union Observer Mission and former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan last night said Mozambicans showed good discipline during the voting in general elections yesterday. Electoral observers were also deployed from the Southern African Development Community, the EU and the Electoral Institute for Sustainable Democracy in Africa. They applauded the government earlier for its efforts to maintain peace and organize secure elections. Around 13 million of Mozambique's 30 million citizens were registered to vote. Preliminary results are expected to be announced tomorrow. Turkey has ignored U.S. sanctions and pressed on with its offensive in northern Syria yesterday. Russia has meanwhile said it will not allow clashes between Turkish and Syrian forces. Russia's defense ministry said its forces, which have been deployed in Syria since 2015, were patrolling along the line of contact between Syrian and Turkish forces. The Turkish offensive, which began last week soon after the withdrawal of the U.S. troops from the region, aims to oust the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces from the border region. And finally, squirreling away supplies for winter took on a whole new meaning for a couple in Pennsylvania in the U.S. after they discovered a hood full of walnuts and grass in their car. Holly Persick was driving when she noticed the car seemed strange. She called her husband Chris and said she smelled like something was burning and the car was making a weird sound. When they opened the hood, they found the engine full of walnuts neatly packed in grass, presumably stored there by squirrels over the weekend when the vehicle had been parked in the open. Chris spent almost an hour cleaning out some 200 walnuts and grass from under the hood. Said Chris, there's definitely an angry squirrel wife right now wondering where all the nuts went. On that note, let's take a look at the sports headlines with Graham.
Let's start with a Rugby World Cup news. South African referee Jaco Peyper will take charge of his 50th test on Sunday. That was after he was appointed to officiate the Rugby World Cup quarter-final encounter between Wales and France. That while England's Wayne Barnes will be in charge of the match between South Africa and Japan. Peyper is one of only 3 South African referees to officiate 50 tests, with the great Jonathan Kaplan and Craig Joubert being the other 2. Nigel Owens of Wales and Francis Jerome Garces will officiate over Saturday's quarter-final fixtures. Then on to football. Locally, PSL tabletoppers Kaizer Chiefs are going to have to be without the services of their veteran goalkeeper Itumeleng Khune, who will be out with a groin injury for the next upcoming 2 fixtures. Team coach Ernst Middendorp this week announced that Khune has not recovered in time and won't be available for selection for the rest of the month. That means he's going to miss out on the Amakhosis away match to Cape Town City, a big fixture. Likewise, the match against the reigning PSL champions Mamelodi Sundowns at Loftus Versfeld. Then on to another massive milestone for an incredible player. Cristiano Ronaldo reached a career milestone this week by scoring his 700th career goal. That was in Portugal's Euro 2020 qualifier against the Ukraine at the Olympic National Sports Complex in Kiev. The 34-year-old striker scored Portugal's only goal in the match as they went down 2-1 to the Ukraine. And this was his 95th goal for his country. He's also scored 450 goals for Real Madrid, 118 for Manchester United, and already 32 for his current club Juventus, and of course 5 thrown in with his time in Sporting. And that is where we leave our sporting headlines for now.
Let's pick it up quickly with your traffic update this morning. In KZN in Durban North, there's protest action on the N2 northbound between Queen Nandi Drive and Avoca Drive, Malandela Road and Inanda Road, as well as Newlands East Road. Police are on the scene in these areas, so please use alternative routes and avoid the areas. In Gauteng in Centurion, there's an accident on the N14 northbound between Brakfontein Interchange. Major delays can be expected from the R55, so please be patient on the roads this morning. Taking a look at the Metro Rail Northern Line, there's an extended travel time of between 20 to 30 minutes on the Wellington line due to current operating conditions and sets out of service. That's it. Let's take a look right now at the weather. For your Wednesday Weather Watch, we say a big thank you to Ntogozo Makatini for your sunrise picture that you sent through from Johannesburg, and also Louis Fafir, who sent us a sunrise picture from Plettenberg Bay, as well as Sam Cross, all the way from beautiful Durban. Thank you very much. And lastly, Samuel Jacobs, thank you very much for your sunrise picture from Beaufort West in the Western Cape. Please keep them coming through. We love sharing them with everyone at the start of a brand new day. Let's take a look at those temperatures. In Polokwane, a low of 12, a high of 28. Some high humidity for Mbombela, a low of 13 and a high of 28. Pretoria between 15 and 32. Similarly in Johannesburg, 14 to 30. Northeasterly winds of about 18 kilometers per hour blowing through Mahikeng today, and a low of 18, a high of 33. Clydesdale between 17 and 34, while there'll be plenty of sunshine in the Northern Cape and Kimberley. Temperatures ranging between 19 and 35. Bloemfontein, 14 and 33, while Richards Bay can expect a low of 18 and a high of 28. Pietermaritzburg between 15 and 31, while high humidity can be expected in Durban today, a low of 19 and a high of 26. Mthatha, sunny conditions between 12 and 33 degrees Celsius. Northeasterly winds of 20 kilometers per hour will be blowing through East London today, with sunny conditions and a low of 17 and a high of 26. The lowest temperatures in the country this morning, Cradock 11 to 37, while Port Elizabeth 15 to 26. Clear skies for George, 14 to 25 your temperatures range. Sutherland 14 to 32, and Cape Town 15 to 23. Now Worcester can expect a low of 18 and a high of 36, while the highest temperatures in the country today in Springbok, a low of 24 and a high of 38, and quite similarly in Uppington between 22 and 38 degrees Celsius. But no matter what the weather is like in your part of the country, here's to hoping you have a wonderful Wednesday.
Ooh, Princess, it smells amazing in this McCafe situation of yours.
Yes.
What are you making this morning?
Bake croissant
and muffins.
and the muffins.
Because I can smell
some.
Yeah, can
and
you
the
see?
bran muffin, yes.
Got to be poppy seeds. So when they come out, I'll grab. Do you wake up really early, extra early to make
Yes, changing my display today.
Oh, okay.
We arrived at just the right time. I will, of course, have another cup of Java. It's about that time, but I would love a lemon poppy seed muffin.
Yeah, I'll have an all-brand muffin, but also please a cappuccino as well. You work so hard. What time do you wake up to make these?
Oh, 5 o'clock.
Oh, you wake up midday.
Yeah, midday.
Yeah. Half day.
In the world of breakfast TV, that's like half day. That's half day. We love you, Princess. Thank you for all the hard work. We're going to return. We're going to go cruising. Imagine cruising on here to take us back to the Mediterranean in luxury and style for the most ridiculous price.
Oh, and then we're making bread. Lots and lots.
Breaking
and
bread.
Lots.
We're breaking
We're
bread.
breaking bread.
We're breaking
bread over here. bread over there. Bread everywhere. We'll see you in the next
extravaganza.
Only the highest grade Arabica beans. McCafe, great coffee, simple. See you after the break.
Social media, I see the question is there a type of bread you would love to know how to bake yourself
Yeah.
or something? So if you can tweet it.
Okay, cool. Lekker. Listen, whew, I love me some bread. Oh man, there's nothing like going to a restaurant and getting freshly made bread.
Well, I bet this one.
us on your cell phone.
Culinary hotline bling.
That can only mean one thing.
Welcome back to it. We got the floor director at the back going like, yeah, it's that time. Clearly very excited for the Culinary hotline bling. Oh, it's a Wednesday morning and today is World Bread Day. Yes. Type it into your tweet, and put a, what do you call it, a little emoji there with it, World Bread Day. We're celebrating the oldest staple food in the world. Trust me, that's going to go onto the show reel at the end of the year, we know that. But anyway, did you know that the first flatbread was made over 30 years ago? And it's mind-boggling to think about it. So in the kitchen this morning to give us all that we need to know about sourdough bread is Jade Duval and Jade Sabas in the kitchen. Thank you for joining us. Ladies.
Thank you for having us.
30,000 years ago?
We are so ready for this.
I said 30 years ago, didn't I?
Yeah.
I mean 30,000 years ago. I've been confusing dates. I caught, I'm trying to take concerts to back when they started. But anyway, we're here now.
Perfect punching bag to bring it out today.
Thank you. I've got a lot of frustration to punch out. All right. But this is, I understand there's something of a basic terminology when it comes to bread. Leavened and unleavened, right?
Yes.
What is the difference between those two things?
Well, it's in the word itself. So it means that leavened bread has a leavening agent, such as yeast, baking powder, baking soda, or what we're going to make, sourdough starter.
Okay.
And unleavened bread doesn't have any of that, such as the flat bread.
Okay. All right, good. So let's get to making, and I really need to know how to do this properly, because I think it's one of the nicest things when you're making dinner for guests and to welcome them.
Correct.
Made bread at home.
No, so you've got to start a few days before.
Oh, do you have to
It's
start a few days
fun,
before?
but it's not so much involvement. Once you get it started, it is its own thing. It's your baby. It's going to grow, and it's eventually going to make a beautiful sourdough bread.
Okay. Speaking of which, is there a difference between, I guess, sourdough bread and normal sliced bread?
Absolutely. Not only in the taste, right, Jade?
Yes. It's very important because yeast is it's very fast-acting.
Right?
Yes.
It doesn't have much of a flavor compared to sourdough starter. There's an acidity because of bacteria and natural yeast.
All the good stuff there. Yes. All the good bacteria you want in your bread.
Is this what we're talking about over here?
So this one is made with fresh yeast. So as you can see, it's very active. It's spilled over. And
it's like a science experiment.
Yes, exactly. And this one is the sourdough starter, which I fed this morning.
Gosh. And once you've made one of these, is it one of those starters that it can last like forever?
Yes, exactly.
Generations. You just keep feeding it. You have one that your grandmother started 60 years ago and it still exists in the family.
I know that you have one that's 9 years old and you keep on feeding it.
So it's like a legacy thing as well.
Absolutely. And it's really easy to start, which we're going to show you right now.
Let's go right ahead. So this is how you make your own sourdough starter.
Yes.
Okay.
So we use an apple. Take us through the rest of the process. We've already fast-forwarded with water.
You just cut an apple into chunks, core it and all, and cover it with water. Leave it out to sit for a few days until it gets nice and fermented and bubbly.
So you ideally want to leave it open so that...
No, you want to leave it closed.
Oh, so that you close it?
Yeah, so that bugs don't fly and you don't...
Otherwise your house might be a fly
face. And it ferments, and once it looks funky, and you will smell it as well. It's not going to be off, it's just going to smell like something funky, almost like bread, like it started. And you want that in there.
I thought this is the TV one, and they're like, smell and be like, oh, it's like potpourri. No.
You can't make that action on your face. But once it gets the bread taste, it will be so worth it.
Good, okay.
So water and flour as a starter, right? Because this we can't go straight into flour. It won't actually make the bread rise or anything.
Right,
we want to give it something to hold on, a protein, such as flour.
All right,
bread flour in this particular reason, right?
So in a glass jar like that, now you pour the contents of your fermented apple juice.
It happen, absolutely. And then
do not drink it.
No.
It might give you an upset stomach.
No, not really.
No?
Some people, we're pretty strong. You know, sourdough bread is much easier to digest, actually. So if you had a choice between sourdough and, quick risen bread or store-bought bread, definitely go for something sourdough. Okay. Because you'll be able to digest it much easier.
Then flour goes in there.
Flour goes in, and then we're going to mix it up. What happens after that? Oh, do we use it straight up, or should we keep it?
It's a baby, so you have to feed it until it's strong enough to rise bread. So you feed it every day for a week.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a long process, but it's worth it.
Oh, yes.
I wasn't quite sure
Trust me.
on the measurements. So an apple like this would be to how much water?
Just until it's covered.
Just until it's covered. So
That
in
easy.
whatever container.
Yes.
And then once you add it first into there, is that about a cup of flour?
It's equal amounts water and flour.
Okay, all right. And now you mix it up like that, and then for the next couple of days, you have to keep feeding it. What does that mean?
So it means that you have to add water and flour in equal amounts. You have to.
It's your baby.
It's your baby. You have to keep it alive, otherwise it dies.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. So do you have to have regular feeds?
Yes.
2 hourly feeds? I know we did 4 hourly feeds, breast feeds.
There's different options, which is fantastic, especially if you're going to bake once or twice a week.
Yes.
You can keep your starter in the fridge and take it out the day before, right?
Yes.
And then
leave it to come back to room temp and
go.
feed it, and it will be nice and active and bubbly, and you can bake some bread.
Okay, which is exactly what we're going to be doing a little bit later on.
Yes.
so excited about that.
This is so fascinating.
So imagine that it's a science experiment. You can do it with, the entire family can be involved because everybody can take part.
Yes.
Feeding the baby.
Tom, when last did you feed the baby? Oh, I
Please
forgot.
make sure.
Susan.
So equal amounts of flour. So you're going to use a little bit of this starter.
Yes.
So this baby over here, take it out, add equal amounts of flour, water, and this baby, the starter.
Yes.
And then you go on to the next person. So the fantastic thing about a starter is it's a nice gift to someone. So if somebody had to bake bread, you don't have, if you know somebody who has an actual starter, just ask them for a starter, and then you have bread in the next 24 hours.
Wow.
So that's how we share as well.
Yeah,
Bakers
the gift
share
of
their
bread.
starters.
It's the gift of bread. We break it
Keeps
together,
on
we
giving.
enjoy it together. Listen,
And makes
on
a lot.
Facebook, Expresso Morning Show SABC3, we've asked you, what kind of bread would you like to learn to make yourself? Share that with us, and our bread experts will give you all that you need to know about it. It's
One in
World
the
Bread
bag.
Day.
Yes.
Could not avoid that. We'll be back again with the Culinary Hotline. Bling!
Thank you for rising to the occasion. It's that time again when we get to explore the wealth of architecture, the history, the culture that is the beautiful Western Mediterranean, all that it has to offer. And Tino from Imagine Cruising joins us today to tell us a little bit more about some of the must-see attractions that await us on today's trip aboard a brand new ship, the Costa Smeralda. Tino, welcome to it, my friend.
Good to see you again.
I love these segments because I get to butcher all these names, but because you take us to some incredible destinations. We're returning to the beautiful Western Mediterranean. No cruise is ever the same in terms of what it offers a person in its experience. The itineraries have been beautiful, and we've seen some amazing itineraries in this part of the world. Another captivating cruise, yes, some captivating destinations as well. Can you give us an overview of this particular cruise?
Absolutely. This is actually quite exciting because there are a lot of ones-offs in this package, which we will get to. We're going into the Western Mediterranean this week, which still proves to be the most popular destination for cruisers because you get to really tick off all those iconic destinations. I mean, you get to visit France, Italy, and Spain all in one go. And the ports of call are iconic cities as well. We start off in Barcelona, which by far is my favorite city in the world. And then we go off to La Spezia. We even do the south of France. We do the beach island of Palma de Mallorca. And we're going to throw some Rome and Florence and Pisa in there as well. So the list is never ending.
It's a real bucket list items when you...
Definitely bucket list.
Yeah, these already marquee items. What I love is you unpack once, you get on your...
Yes,
once
floating
you're on board.
hotel, floating resort, that's how we operate.
Costa Smeralda, new, perfect for families as well, great for couples as well. Cruising has changed dramatically from, I think, the previous kind of incantation when we thought it was only for older couples. Now, these are vibrant, alive
all the bells and the
cities.
whistles, as people would say. And this is what a once-off is. It's not every day that you get to experience a brand new ship. Imagine's clients will be amongst the first people to go on board a brand new ship. She's only launching in January of next year.
Wow, so it's going to have the new car smell. That's gonna be awesome.
And it's a huge ship. Like you said, it caters for families and for couples. And nobody would be unhappy on this ship. If you're a family, there's so much to do for the children. There are 4 swimming pools that they can choose from. There's a kids club, there's a water park, there's an adventure park for them. And all of these things will always be maintained and done under supervision, so your kids will always be safe, so you can literally kick back and relax and get that well-deserved holiday that you want. And then for couples, I mean, couples are usually scared of doing cruising because they think it won't be romantic, whereas this ship has over 8 restaurants where you can have romantic dinners every evening in a different one. There's a Samsara spa on board. Now, these spas are amongst the biggest on any cruise line in the world. They are as big as up to 2,000 square meters.
Sure.
Private thermal area, private beach club for the adults. You can go get changed, get ready for your dinner, then sip some cocktails in the wine bar, go watch a theatre show. The list is just never ending.
It can be one long date. This whole trip can be one long date with some of the most romantic destinations as well thrown in. This is where I think it starts to get really mind-blowing for me, because I always do the maths. I always work it out backwards, and I compare it to just maybe getting some flights locally, spending a week at a hotel locally and going out for dinner twice will cost you more than this entire price package. 21,999 Rand per person. What's included? That's
well,
insane.
in short, almost everything. I know the price sounds too good to be true, but your return flights are included from Johannesburg. Your taxes, your luggage taxes, airport taxes, all your fares are included. We then also included 2-night pre-stay in Barcelona in a 4-star hotel with bed and breakfast, and then a full board cruise. And full board means all your meals are catered for, your snacks are catered for, all your onboard entertainment, and all your luggage and port taxes again. And just to make it a little bit better, we've even included a hop-on, hop-off bus tour in Barcelona, and this is exclusive only to Expresso viewers.
I was going to say, this better be just for us. Just
it's
for us watching right now. That's awesome.
And this 21999 date is based on the 31st of January departure next year out of Johannesburg.
And on a brand new trip. That's one of many firsts that are wrapped up into this incredible price package. We're going to delve a little deeper into some of those marquee destinations that Tino has mentioned there, starting from the truly remarkable, rather city price of 21,999 Rand per person. You could be cruising to the gorgeous Western Mediterranean. Most fantastic cities in the world. You can experience the artistic treasures, some of the Romanesque churches, some of the most beautiful architecture you're likely to see in your life aboard the brand new Costa Smeralda. Coming up, we're going to take a closer look at what Spain has to offer.
Lucky? You could win one of 3 epic prizes every Friday courtesy of Dion Wired. That includes an Xbox One S, a Samsung Note 10 and an iPhone 11. SMS the keyword Dion Wired, your name and email address to 33728 to win. Plus, when you SMS in, you are entered into a grand prize draw to win a trolley dash in a Dion Wired worth 100,000 Rand. Winning has never been so easy.
Just run me through the amounts, please.
The amounts?
How much?
235.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary hotline bling.
That can only mean one thing.
Yeah. Here we are. Welcome back to it. The bread edition of the Culinary hotline bling. Bling. Oh yeah, we're here. Look at
move
this.
for the
Yeah,
club.
it's the new one.
Here we
It's the
go.
new one.
It's the bread
Listen,
dance.
No matter how you slice it, bread is, of course, a very important part of nearly every culture. And today, we're on World Bread Day, we are learning exactly how to make sourdough bread. So we are clearly on a roll, and the ladies are here to help us to do so. Jade and Jay.
I love the touch of a freshly baked roll.
Oh, when you just squeeze it and it allows you to squeeze it, it talks to you.
Yeah,
It's a tactile
exactly.
thing. Okay, so we've learned how to make a starter. By the way, you used the green apple early on. Can you use any kind of apple for?
Of course, and you can use other fruits, grapes, pears, granadilla. Yeah, but apple is nice and easy.
The easy one.
Yeah.
So whatever fruit can kind of ferment. Pineapple.
Pineapple. Oh, it makes a delicious beer, right?
Oh, my word. Okay.
Ooh.
So now with your starter, and now the friends are coming over later.
Yes.
You want to make a bread.
Of course.
So how do you make a sourdough?
The friends are coming over tomorrow.
Make it the day before.
Or if you want to speed it up, of course. But this is a sourdough that you've fed for quite some time already, right? So it's about, how long do you have to wait before you're actually ready with the starter we made earlier?
Yeah.
How long do you have to wait? Oh, well, once you establish it, you have to feed it for a week before it's nice and active.
Okay, so about a week later after so maybe start your starter today, and then you're going to keep it going for a long time to come.
Fantastic. And we're going to add it to bread flour.
Exactly.
Strong bread flour.
In what kind of proportions are you adding it?
This is 80 grams of starter for 275 grams of flour.
Okay,
Yeah,
good,
but the
good.
recipe is on the website, so you don't have to worry
Because
about
of course you don't want to be using all your starter all at once.
Exactly,
and now
you
no
want to
more
keep it
starter.
alive. You want to keep it alive.
And then also, just a quick note again, before you use it, are you feeding it before?
Yes.
So that it gets nice and bubbly. So
Yes,
you've had it for
exactly.
about a week, you've been feeding it, and the day before the guests arrive and you want to make the bread, you feed it.
Yes.
Bubbles make the bread.
Absolutely.
You got it.
And we're ready for this. So salt, 5 grams, and then water.
Just some water.
Simple as that.
Yes. Bread is just flour, water, salt, and leavening agent.
Delicious.
SMS the keyword bread to 33728 and we'll send you the list of ingredients.
So once you mix it up,
recipe. Okay.
once you mix it up, you get a nice dough like this. As you can see, it's quite shaggy.
Yes.
So you have to knead it. And the technique...
Shaggy, I like that.
Well, it's kind of lumpy and all.
Yes, yes.
So you have to pick it up and slap it onto the counter and fold it over itself.
Oh, wow.
I'm preparing this
slap
because
and
this is
fold.
epic.
So this is and apparently every bread maker has their own technique. This
Yes.
is
Oh,
yours.
yes.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
And
So
it's
you slap and
changing.
roll.
And it's becoming smoother and smoother. And if you do it
at
fast...
that. How fast can you do that?
Do you want to try?
Yes,
Can I?
absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
So you hold it.
Kind of pinch it.
I love
Oh,
it.
pick it up.
You need a lot of space. That's why I'm
And then
moving
slap
out,
it.
everything
Slap
out
and
of the
roll.
way.
Yes, you got it.
So you're there?
Pick it up like this for a quarter turn, yes.
So imagine this is somebody that you're
Slap and
slapping
roll.
and
Yes.
folding over, right?
Oh my God, you're so good at
Pick it
it.
up.
You're natural.
Slap and roll.
The
Yes.
dough has
One
a
more time.
face.
Slap and roll.
Oh, but it's gonna
That's
Beautiful.
amazing. That's
Beautiful.
amazing.
So
I
you
think a
knead it a
gift
few
of you
times.
slapping and rolling. On repeat, on repeat, on repeat.
So what is the final result that you want to have?
You
with
want
this
to
one?
have something very smooth, and once you have something very smooth, there's a lot of more folding steps, but once you have something very smooth, you're just going to flour the top a little so that it doesn't stick.
And it's not
This is the
a
pretty side, so pretty side down, fold it over itself to shape.
It's not a 10-minute slap and fold.
Okay,
Yes.
so
It's
it's
a
about
quick slap and fold.
Oh, quick
until
one.
you feel that it's
And
nice
then
and smooth.
smooth
Yes.
and then look at
Tighten it up.
Cute.
This is the stuff we see when they
Yes.
make like food television. That
Yes.
roll.
Absolutely.
You can also
Something
use
right
the
here.
French scraper to kind of round it
Oh,
off.
look at
Gorgeous.
that.
And then that
That's
basket.
masterful.
So the fabulous.
Then you have a nice little loaf that's ready to be proofed.
That's amazing. So that
Yes.
that was amazing.
Oh.
So it has to prove, which
Yes.
means it has to increase or double in size.
Yes.
And
So,
where
to do
do you
this,
let it do that?
You have to do it in a basket. So a basket with a cloth. So flour the dough nicely, basket and a cloth.
And if you want to make fancy shapes on it, can you?
Yeah,
do that?
that's
Ooh, we're gonna
afterwards.
get
I'm going
there.
to show you.
Look,
I'm going to show you.
if you don't have a basket, like I didn't have a basket at home.
Yes.
I just used a metal bowl and it worked
Yes.
perfectly, or a glass bowl, whatever you literally have to keep it shape.
Okay, all right.
So it's
You
not
want it to
strictly
keep the shape.
a
one
basket,
thing.
but this is quite cute if you put it in a basket
Yes.
because it can breathe as well, you know?
Yes.
So in it goes into the basket, it's got a
Yes.
good amount of flour so it doesn't...
Seam side up.
So the beautiful side is at the bottom.
Yes. And then once you're ready to bake, you put it on the parchment paper, flip it over so that the pretty side is up.
Yay!
Wow.
Magic!
And then
Excellent.
you can
Fantastic.
do all your fancy little
Scorings.
scorings.
So
let's try to do
nice sharp knife as
wheat
well?
stalk. Yes, nice sharp
So
knife.
you're going to do a weed stalk?
Yes.
So you could do anything?
Yes.
Do like a South African
this.
flag?
Yo,
Of course.
you
A
said it.
springbok if you want
bring
to.
it for the final.
And then
We're passing around the ball. No,
Maybe-
catch the bread. It's the
Maybe
final.
make like a rugby ball-shaped bread. Oh, that
skills,
is
skills,
lovely.
skills.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And then, for instance, once you've done that, when it comes out,
It
Yes, it
looks
comes
like
out like
that.
this.
you'll have something
Look.
like this. Let me just quickly
Fast
show this
forward.
to the camera. That's beautiful. So once you've had it in the, you put it in the oven for how long?
For how long? 25 minutes. It depends on how you cook it, but you can cook it in a Dutch oven
So
like
this is like a potjie sport. This
Yes.
is what I call it. I don't know
Yes.
that it has a Dutch oven. I know it has a potjie because it's got nice heat from the bottom. You're gonna pop it in there and you're gonna put the lid on top
Yes.
as well. So your potjie sport is coming
Cast
back into
iron.
fashion.
Yes.
That goes into your oven.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay. Can you naked bake it? Is that-
Yes,
is
you
that
can
gonna
naked
be-
bake it without
bake it?
anything on top. You showed me how to bake it in the oven on a
Yes.
baking tray that you actually put in the oven first. So it's nice and hot.
Yes.
So it crisps the bottom.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
A bit of baking paper. So that also over here you'll have baking paper. So it's very easy for it to slide in
Yes.
onto the hot metal tray.
Okay.
And then you bake it. But there's something magic about bread. You have
is?
to add a little bit of a steam effect
Yes.
inside, like a sauna for the bread to get that crispy
So you have a bowl
outside.
inside with some
Exactly.
water to
Oh,
steam.
Yes.
You are meant for this. Wow. There we go. Chef, you have so got this.
Bread, oh my word.
We're coming for breakfast tomorrow morning. Is it going to be here?
I still need to get my starter. Give me a week. SMS the keyword
Much
bread to
faster.
33728. Ladies, thank you. What an education. Brilliant
Amazing.
stuff. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Let us know as well on our Expresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page. Which kind of bread would you like to learn how to make yourself on this World Bread Day? On the Culinary Hotline, bling! Sing, sing, sing! We're rolling, baby. We're rolling.
Keep it rolling. We're going to keep it rolling right now as we continue an incredible cruise with a history among, I think, the oldest probably in Europe. Barcelona is a cosmopolitan city with Roman remains, medieval quarters. It has something for everyone, some of the most beautiful examples of 20th century modernism as well. So it's not just old, but it's avant-garde. Its historic artistic heritage makes it a prime destination to visit if you want to experience some of the most innovative artistic trends from the past and right now. And Tina from Imagine Cruising is here to share with us more on what we can experience with this week's travel destinations, because there's a few wrapped up in this incredible cruise. Tino, you reckon that Barcelona is one of your, if not your favorite city?
You couldn't have said it better. The reason it is my favorite is because there's so much on offer. It's one of the most beautiful European cities located on a beach. You can go shop, you can go eat, and there's so much history and culture there.
You can just stand and stare.
Exactly. It's a place to be.
And I've heard that the people are amazing. And of course, you spend, you've got 3 days, 2 nights in Barcelona to kick off the trip.
Yes, you've got 2 nights, 3 days, 3 full days. And just to give you a little bit of history about Barcelona, it's called the cosmopolitan capital of Europe. It's also the capital of the Catalonia area of Spain. And this city was designed by Antoni Gaudi. And you can see his influence in architecture draped all throughout the city. And then the peak of his influence is La Sagrada Familia, which is that amazing church that just stands in the skyline. And it is unfinished, so they say, but that's what makes it so authentic. And inside, outside is a must-see. And then something I didn't know until I got to Barcelona is that the museum with the most extensive collection of Pablo Picasso's work is actually in Barcelona. So once you've done all of that art and culture, you'll be hungry and you'll need to sit back and relax. I then suggest you head off to La Ramblas, which is the vein of Barcelona. It's a 2-kilometer walkway with just live music, crafts, artists, street food, which is what I was going to get next. You need to use this opportunity to try Spanish cuisine, the tapas, the paella, and you'll be thirsty then, so maybe have a glass of sangria or even a jug. It just makes it more fun. And like I mentioned in the first segment, you also have the hop-on, hop-off bus. 2-day pass in Barcelona. It's not only for sightseeing, but it is the easiest way to get around in an unknown city. So
you learn a little bit as you go around. What I love about this city is, if you wanted, you could just delve into all of the history, the culture. You could really tour it.
Yes.
Or if you wanted, you could plonk yourself at a little a street-side cafe, sit and sip sangria and just soak it up.
They are literally everywhere. I mean,
oh man, I love it.
Phenomenal.
Okay, so we're going to be enjoying, as we explore the Western Mediterranean, other sides of Spain aboard the Costa Smeralda. where else do we visit on this kind of leg of the journey?
After the hustle and bustle of Barcelona, we go to the beautiful beach, sun-kissed island of Palma de Mallorca.
Wow.
Now, this is where you will kick back, relax, don't stress about anything. It's such a small island, you can go anywhere by foot. The famous cathedral is literally a 15-minute walk from the port where the ship docks.
Oh, cool.
My favorite beaches in the Mediterranean are in Palma de Mallorca. And then if you want to go off the beaten track a little bit, you can take that antique train that goes from Palma to Soler, and it goes over hills and hills of olive groves, orange plantations. The list is just endless. And it's a late sail usually, so you can go back on board, get changed, and go out for dinner again.
Continue your date. Your week-long date that you are having. It looks amazing. It actually just looks like something like a set of a movie, to be quite honest. It looks absolutely beautiful. So we're going to continue to explore some of the amazing destinations. That's just Spain, guys. We're still going to continue through the Western Mediterranean. This again, can you just quickly cover what's included in this insane price, 21,999, the departure date for this particular very low price package, and what's included?
Certainly, it's 21,999 Rand per person sharing, based on the 31st of January departure 2020 out of Johannesburg. This includes your return flights between Barcelona and Johannesburg. It includes your 2-night, 3-day pre-stay in Barcelona in a 4-star hotel with bed and breakfast, and then your 7-night full board cruise on the brand new Costa Smeralda.
Yeah, that in itself is just worth taking the entire trip. Don't fill up on breakfast too much in Barcelona, because you've got the street food that you've got to wind your way through. But thank you so much. We're going to continue exploring with Tino some of the amazing destinations as we continue our cruise through the Western Mediterranean, starting from the sensational price of, yes, you heard it right, 21,999 Rand per person, including flights and taxes. You can stroll the buzzing streets of Barcelona and experience its exceptional infrastructures. One of the best cities in the world from everyone I know who has been there, all aboard the Costa Smeralda as well. Set to, obviously going to be setting sail at the end of January, and we're going to get through some of those other destinations as we continue through Italy and France as well. So don't move a muscle.
Science reaches for the truth. It works for the big and small, for the old and young. And with knowledge as our first ingredient, science is at the heart of our food. For differences you can see, feel, and trust. It all starts with science.
Going on, you know I want to help you. Has something gone wrong? I never really loved him. You have nothing in common. I've made a bad mistake. Mistakes can be corrected. Sometimes he treats me badly. There are places you can go. It's impossible to escape. Love you, be protected. He will always find me. So downhearted. He'll never let me go. Be happy if you parted. I think he'd rather kill me. Don't say that, Juanita. Pam, I have to go. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary hotline bling.
That can only mean one
Yes,
thing.
yes, yes, yes. Welcome back to the You Feel Good Breakfast Show and the Culinary Hotline Bling. Sing, sing, sing. It's World Bread Day, everyone. Get excited. We're learning how to make all kinds of bread. And everyone in Joburg has been about all buns out. So yeah, we got buns out today. Lots of buns out in the studio. And so if you haven't yet had time to make a starter, like Jade and Jade showed us earlier on, and you haven't had time to feed it, but the guests are coming over tonight for dinner and you need a quick way to make a quick bread, then you can use full cream milk, especially we're using Clover full cream milk here to make a bread. And you're going to show us exactly how to do that, ladies. So there is a quick fix.
Absolutely. And the fantastic thing is this is a basic bread dough. And to it, you can go crazy. You can go, add spinach in, like we've got right over here.
Wow.
What other ideas do you guys have? Please let us know.
Olives. Cheese would be great. Olives.
Ooh.
Pepper dews. I'll go pepper dews for sure.
Cheese. You can stuff it on the inside.
That'll give you that little bit of a bite. That
mix it all
in when you bite it.
Chili, and the spices, herbs. But to start off, a basic bread dough is one way to get into it.
Excellent.
And the nice thing about the milk is it really makes it nice and rich.
Yes.
It's a nice color as well, so it browns in the oven. And it's a simple, it's a breeze to make. You just pour everything together and you make
fresh
it
milk
up.
is better.
And that's what I'm going to
Clover
do.
fresh milk is way better. Okay.
Flour power, right? Bread flour, yeast, of course. So instead of a sourdough starter.
Yes.
So would you use dry yeast and not
absolutely, because it's easy to find, right?
Okay,
You
yeah.
have the ingredients
Easy to
around
work with
you.
as well, right?
Absolutely. Oil.
Good.
So it adds a bit of fat, a bit of flavor, and of course salt to make it sing. Sing. Got beautiful
Good
two different
stuff.
types of salt. So this is a nice sea salt. You can use whatever salt you have.
So will that
Let's
just
do
kind
some
of add
pink
to the flavor a little bit?
salt. Right. I just had to do that,
But yeah, of course. You can't salt without being Salt Bay.
Salt Bay.
There you go.
Spice Bay, Salt Bay, so a good amount of salt. And then we mix it up all together and you can get your hands involved and just work it together. But the magic touch, the final ingredient.
Is, of course, our fresh milk, which is great, but Clover fresh milk is way better. And of course, it has superior quality taste and freshness and consistency.
So I'm just going to see how it comes together in the beginning, and then if I want to adjust, I can add a little bit more because different flours have different styles of hydration.
Oh, okay.
Some needs a little bit more, some needs a little bit less, and if it's hot in the room, then you want to add a little bit less.
If you use self-raising flour, then you don't need yeast, do you?
Yeah, it's the interesting thing about flours, right?
Yeah.
Jay taught me that gluten is actually a protein.
Yes.
And that just made my ears sing. So please
Gluten
tell us
is
more about
actually a protein.
Yes.
Mind
it's a
blown.
protein.
Just a different kind of protein.
It's it's a group of protein actually.
Okay.
And they bind together and they form a network that traps the air inside. So that's why gluten-free bread is so hard to make because there's nothing that binds the bread together.
So it doesn't necessarily rise.
Yeah, so it's almost like wet sand.
Oh my word.
So that's why it's so complicated to make gluten-free bread.
But
that's why you pay so much for it.
Yes, exactly.
Because it's so
a whole
difficult to
technology.
This is an
Wonderful
amazing
stuff.
texture, really beautiful.
All right, SMS the keyword Clover to 33728. And of course, if you are going to be using Clover fresh milk to make this, you know that you're getting the benefit of those essential nutrients and minerals and vitamins, including protein and vitamins A, D, and B12, and calcium as well. So wonderful for you too.
And ready to rise once it's risen, comes out.
So that would be after how long of proving?
You need about 20 to 30 minutes, but we'll do the recipe for you on. It's also different in different environments, remember that.
Yes.
So watch the dough. It's all about the touch. It's about the feel. It's about making sure that you can see your bread has got air in it. It's alive. It's kicking, and then we're going to knock it down.
No wonder bread is like the first thing that people serve when you come home because it's like a connection thing. You know, making it is like a heart and soul thing. So when people eat it as a starter and it's freshly baked and the butter melts on it, they can almost taste your love.
You said it. You said it, and it speaks for you, right?
Bread.
You know, just break bread with your friends, bring it together. But this is absolutely beautiful.
Now, what is that?
You can see what I'm talking about gluten. It's a very thin network and
oh my gosh,
it's like a window.
Yeah,
They
it's
call
like
it
a
the
window.
pane.
If you zoom in, if we had a
you can see through
microscope,
it.
yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Microscope, you could see the network.
This is a
of the
gorgeous
So how
dough.
do we knead this dough?
Let's do slap and fold.
Okay.
Slap and fold. Wait, we've seen a slap and fold. What other techniques are there?
There's lots.
Okay.
Palms, so the
Like
hand,
this?
Absolutely.
What's that called?
So you use your palm.
I don't
Yes,
know, it's just
the palming.
basic. Yeah.
The palming technique.
Moving it around. And you
It
can
sounds
see,
like a kung fu move.
You see that Jade hasn't added any flour. So the first, initial thought is to go, more flour because it's sticky.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's going to go everywhere. you don't have to do that. You just feel it and keep on moving it until it comes together. You know, it will come.
Can I show you how my late
Please.
grandmother used to do it?
Yes,
She'd have it, and then she'd literally go.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh
But like, world champion,
Swap places
just
with
get
the
in
bread
there
dough
and
right now.
everything is folding, and then you
I know, it's a
just
good stretch.
really get
Look at those
involved.
bubbles.
Just,
Yo.
you know what I mean?
Yo, and
It's a
then
whole technique.
what
I'm
kind
getting
of-
too excited.
What kind of bread? What kind of breads did your grandmama make?
Well, this was done usually when she was making rusks, right? So in order to get everything mixed together beautifully, she'd really get
Make
involved.
rusks?
Yeah, rusks, or even
lekker.
cookies. Yeah, unfortunately,
Yes.
bread.
And
yeah,
steamed bread?
We weren't that fancy.
Oh.
Maybe like something called ledambi.
Yes.
Bodambi.
Yes,
Which is
that's
a
what I was
kind of
bringing.
sourdough bread. Would you call it?
Yes, we're
Somebody help
smart,
me out.
man.
Yeah, you get involved.
South Africans are smart. We've been doing this for years. We just recently learned that it was sourdough.
Meanwhile, we've been having it.
Yes.
Then
Organic
you get it in there.
food, you know,
Yes.
growing our stuff, and it
Put
goes
it in a tin.
Good stuff.
Should be oiled.
Yeah.
So that you
Fantastic.
don't have half of your bread stuck to the tin.
gorgeous?
That would be kind of sad because you do spend a lot of time making it, even if it's quick
yeah.
bread. You don't want your stuff
Isn't
to
it a
be
beauty? And it's going.
I tell
into
you
mine.
what, we've got to show everyone how easy it is to make. Take a look at this.
Fantastic.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA, made with love by Clover. Nothing beats the smell and taste of freshly baked bread, and it's easier to do than you think. Add 1.5 cups of Clover full cream fresh milk to a mixing bowl, followed by 10 grams of instant yeast, a pinch of sugar, 3 cups of bread flour, half a teaspoon of salt, and a touch of pride. Stir until a dough starts to form. Then knead the dough for about 8 to 10 minutes. Cover and set aside to double in size. Once doubled, flatten the dough on a clean surface and roll it up into a loaf shape. And pop the loaf into a greased baking tin. Then cover and let it double in size one more time for about 30 minutes. Bake in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 20 to 25 minutes until golden brown and cooked through. Serve your beautiful fresh and warm loaf of bread straight from the oven with lashings of Clover butter.
Made with love by Clover.
As easy as that. SMS the keyword Clover to 33728. We'll send you a link to the recipe as well as the ingredients list. Let's quickly check in on some of your comments on the question of what kind of bread you'd love to learn to make yourself on this World Bread Day. And we had some great comments coming through to you, from you. Let's take a quick look and boing! Oh, they've sent them through to my mobile device, so I'll have a look over here. Thank you very much to our producer. So there was a bit of a conversation going on from Esme Perang de Andrade, saying, my mom makes sourdough bread with potatoes.
Yes,
that
it's a thing.
Yeah, that she put in a glass jar to ferment
Very
for 24 hours and then
Wow.
makes the yeast from that. It's the
Beautiful.
best. Potatoes.
Absolutely.
We used an apple, you can use a potato. Then Florette comes in and says, Esme, cut the potato with the skin, question mark. Do you add flour and water as the TV ladies indicated? Then Esme says, you use strong, lukewarm water. I don't know, what do you mean strong water? Is that like...
I don't know.
Well,
okay,
well,
strong.
like we used filtered water. You can use spring water.
Oh,
as well.
okay.
Something that doesn't have
As long
too
as
many
your
other
water is
additions.
strong.
Absolutely.
One washed potato.
But we'd
with-
like to hear from her as well.
One washed potato with the skin on, 5
Brilliant.
milligrams, I'm assuming, of sugar and 5 milligrams of salt. Cover and leave for 24 hours, then mix with flour and
Fabulous.
stand until it makes bubbles.
Very,
and then
very same
knead.
idea.
There we
so like
go.
we didn't use the sugar, we used the natural sugars from the apple.
Yes. Yeah.
And of course with the potato, it also helps to keep to maintain the taste for a very long time and actually preserves the bread. Interesting about potato.
Oh wow!
Very cool.
And you actually you added the salt once you
Later on,
used
absolutely.
the starter to make, but the sugar content came from the apple sweetness.
That's it. So that's why it's added in.
Okay.
Later with
Can we
potato.
taste some of this bread that we've made?
Get involved.
I'm going to just get involved here. It's beautiful. It's lovely and dense with
I'm
some
gonna break
butter
bread with
and
Jade.
spinach. Thank you so much,
This is the
ladies.
first time that we've been on together. Which is
Excellent.
fantastic.
Yes.
So
I
thank
hope
you for
that you
having us.
enjoyed this. Enjoy World Bread Day. And this is the Culinary Hotline Bling. Sing, sing, sing.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA, made with love by Clover.
All right, so let's continue to whet your appetite. This week's cruise takes us through the glorious cities of the Western Mediterranean aboard one of the most exciting and brand new ships on the seas, the Costa Smeralda. The ship sets sail from Barcelona to Palma de Mallorca, Civitavecchia in Rome, La Spezia, Savannah and Marseille, just some of the amazing marquee destinations that you'll be able to experience. Of course, making this probably the holiday of a lifetime. If you're going to do one trip, do this one trip. Tino is back from Imagine Cruising to tell us a bit more about the continued trip. So we've left Palma de Mallorca. The next stop is just outside of Rome. Rome having one day even to spend in Rome. What makes this city so appealing, do you think? Why is it? It's got to be one of the top tourist destinations in the world, undoubtedly.
Exactly. I think it's one of the first places people want to see when they go to Europe for the first time, which makes this cruise even more appealing. Your next stop will be a small seaside town called Civitavecchia.
Civitavecchia. You said so much more romantically than I said.
I'm good. Thanks. Well, this is the gateway to Rome. Something that I would suggest here is that you do an organized tour with the ship. It is about an hour, hour and a half outside of Rome. So just to make sure you get into Rome on time, you get to see all the sites. Please do a tour with the ship. It's very well organized. The tour normally starts at the Colosseum. You will literally walk in the footsteps of the gladiators and get some Roman history, after which we would go to the Trevi Fountain. And you know what legend says, if you don't toss your coin in the Trevi Fountain, you won't be coming back to Rome, so that is a must. And then after that, you'll see the Spanish Steps. It's very close to the Trevi Fountain. It's about 174 steps that leads up to a twin-tower church that towers the skyline of Rome. And again, food.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can use the steps to work off the food.
There's a small trattoria very close to the Spanish Steps called Trattoria di Enzo. And story holds that this is where carbonara originated from. So you can either have it as a pizza or as pasta. And then don't forget the Vatican City. I'll never forget the feeling when I stood there and you see the Sistine Chapel and you realize that this is the official home of the Pope and also the smallest country in the world, all rolled into one.
Oh, and you can do all that, all rolled into one day. But I like the idea of just for this particular one especially, do the organized tour. There's a reason why we do these things, so you can squeeze in, because there's a huge amount to be learnt from that space as well. Then we continue to some pretty cool other exciting Italian ports. Where do we head from there?
From there we go up to the northwest coast of Italy, to La Spezia.
La Spezia, okay.
Now this is a port that gives you entry into Tuscany, so for all the foodies and wine lovers out there, I suggest you do one of those tours. But then I love art and history, so I would head off to Florence. And Florence, I mean, speaks for itself. Not only does it host the original David by Michelangelo, it's also the birthplace of the Italian Renaissance. So the must-see in La Galleria is the Duomo that was built by Brunelleschi. And as you approach it, you see this marble solid facade of pinks and greens and white. It's really beautiful.
I'm seeing every movie ever shot in that part of the world.
Yes, and the Leaning Tower of Pisa is also here. So you can get that iconic picture that everybody tries to take. And a little bit of inside information, you are 20 minutes away from the Cinque Terre region as well. So you can hop on a bus to Portofino and it will feel like you're walking in a picture. It's phenomenal.
Oh, man, the entire place is like one big postcard, quite frankly. Incredible stuff there. So then, Savona, the last stop on the Italian leg of our journey, and then to Marseille. Why, out of all of the marquee destinations that are available in that French leg, why does this stand out for you, do you think?
Well, first of all, it's on the French Riviera, so I'm sure I've got your attention there already. It's also the capital of Provence, so it can take you to little towns like Avignon. You can see the rolling lavender fields. But then also it's your last day of the cruise, and I would also suggest just go into Marseille. It's probably the most influenced maritime city in the world. And the seafood cuisine is incredible. And the highest point of this little town has got a cathedral on it, Notre Dame de la Garde. And the tower of this cathedral is gold-plated in 24-karat gold. It is incredible to see. And you get the best view of the city. And you even see the island of Monte Cristo, where the novel the Count of Monte
Count of
Cristo
Monte
is based
Cristo.
on. So it's just endless, really.
Oh, man. I mean, if we can evoke this kind of emotion, and I can see how emotionally invested you are in this part of the world. I know it's very special to you.
Yes.
So you were definitely the right person here to hopefully impart some of that love and that majesty of one of the most amazing selections of cities that you are likely ever to visit. So I think ultimately it's up to you now to treat yourself to a dream of a holiday with some amazing destinations, some magnificent cities all along the Western Mediterranean aboard the truly remarkable and brand new Costa Smeralda. Diverse cultural richness of Barcelona, the landscapes of Italy, the cuisine, the ultimate paradise on earth, and you can experience these idyllic locations and bustling cities for the truly remarkable. Let's get honest, this is a remarkable price, 21,999 Rand per person, including your flights and taxes, 2 nights in Barcelona and 7 nights aboard that incredible ship. So please get on it right now. If you want to inquire more, learn more, go to imaginecruising.co.za, or you can even pick up the phone right now, 0861 777 245. This is the trip of a
Truly.
It truly, truly is.
I think we should go.
I'm there. I'm there. Come on, bring your bread. Let's go.
Treats me badly. There are places you can go. It's impossible to escape, but you can be protected. He will always find me. Don't be so downhearted. He'll never let me go. You'd be happier if you parted. To think he'd rather kill me. Don't say that, Juanita. Pam, I have to go. Okay. So hungry for a kiss. I wish that I could help her. Or a gentle touch. She really needs a friend. Wouldn't.
Just do that again.
So hungry for a kiss. I wish that I could help her. Or a gentle touch. She really needs a friend. Wouldn't that be bliss? She's desperate and I hate to think I need love so much. This whole thing will end. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. It is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, live right here on SABC3. Nearing the end, but not until we've had the amazing sounds of David Kramer and the team from Danger in the Dark. Here they are with sounds that are going to take us to heaven. Take it away, guys.
I think it's time you tell me what's going on. You know I want to help you. Has something gone wrong? I never really loved him. You have nothing in common. I've made a bad mistake. Mistakes can be corrected. Sometimes he treats me badly. There are places you can go. It's impossible to escape, but you can be protected. He will always find me. Don't be so downhearted. He'll never let me go. You'd be happier if you parted. I think he'd rather kill me. Don't say that, Juanita. Pam, I have to go. So hungry for a kiss. I wish that I could help her. Or a gentle touch. She really needs a friend. Wouldn't that be bliss? She's desperate and I hate to think I need love so much. This whole thing will end. Every day I walk through fire. She gave up everything. Every day I go through hell.
Expresso Morning Show, made with love by Clover.
She got caught in his web, my butterfly friend, and deep down inside.